Is this gentleman bothering you?
I'm just leaving.
How'd you sleep, big man? I hear your stance, kid. You was a brave man. It's an honor to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you, too.
Please don't. Ain't gonna kill you. Say hello, big dick buster.
John Booknight was 6'4", 260 pounds with a bald head. He only had to say one word.
Yo!
Then it was lights out. I want to see.
Nobody gets hurt. Nobody moves. Nobody gets hurt.
Hang it the fuck up.
Hey, yo.
Minutes is up. Statin. We need to get you out of here.
I don't think you understand.
It's gonna be 500.
You said 4.
He works for the God account. What does he want us to find here?
Card. Tragus. The only muscle powder that's 9% ranch dressing.
Bruce Wayne. The only thing funnier than you saving my life would be if I saved yours.
Raise your arms.
Lower back, right side.
Yes, the style makes up its a different hush, Mr. Benny, with your wisest target. Make way for this.
And we all know Thomas, the Iron Lung.
Gets hurt.
Hello.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Try it. You good? Yeah. Awesome. You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do it. It's recording. How
right.
are you?
I'm
Mr.
good.
Hank Armstrong
Yeah.
and Elijah Armstrong, I guess, right? How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Thank you for coming. So, for the people that might not know you yet so much, tell us a little bit who you are.
So, my name is Hank Strong. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. My parents are immigrants. My dad's from Nigeria. My mom's from St. Vincent.
Oh, wow.
And somehow they came together in Brooklyn and made me and my 2 little sisters. And we lived there till I was 15, and then we moved to White Plains. And then after White Plains, I went to NYU for a bit. Lived in the city.
What was your bachelor? What your degree? Or?
I didn't finish.
Okay.
I was only there for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for pre-law, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, pre-law doesn't have a specific, major. So you could major in anything, basically. So I went to the College of Arts and Science there. Being 17 at NYU, after going to an all-boys Catholic high school, it's like, you just got out of jail, and now you have all this, free time, like it's like you have all this freedom,
Yeah.
that you didn't have before. It's a little overwhelming when you're 17.
Yeah. So you went in a Catholic school?
Yeah, Catholic. Yeah,
Catholic school.
Yeah, it's Zavarian High School in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Which turns out, has a lot of history. Chris Mullin went there, great basketball player. Pete Davidson went there.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, Pete Davidson went there. I'll get to that a little later. Like I was in a movie with Pete Davidson, King of Staten Island.
Yeah.
His mom works there as well. But he actually went there, obviously way after me, because I'm older.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Cool, man. And Elijah, you still in high school or you finished already?
I graduated last year. So my name is Elijah. I'm from White Plains. It's in Westchester. A lot of people say it's upstate, but it's really not. It's like 20 minutes from the Bronx at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Pete Davidson, man. I went to see him live the other day. He came here to Fairfield, a town close to us. Super funny, man. I love his stand-up comedy.
Yeah, he's a great kid. Like, he's so funny. He has a lot of story to tell. He's been through a lot in his life. Like his dad died in 9/11.
I know, man.
Very traumatic, And actually, I read that he used to deal with that pain by cutting himself. Ooh. So what he used to do was put tattoos over that. To cover up the cuts.
Yeah.
Which is explains a lot of his tattoos.
Yeah, his tattoos are very special.
Yeah,
like
he has a lot. Yeah,
in the style, it looked like he did it himself, kind of.
yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them. He got that particular kind of raw, raw style.
Yeah, like
it seems like he was drunk one day, sitting in the corner, and somebody was walking by with a tattoo machine and just tattoo him. So it looks like that. Yeah, but it represents a lot of what he looks like,
Yeah,
and I don't know him in person.
I love Pete. He's a great person.
Yeah, he seems to be, man.
Yeah, he's a great family too. In the movie, actually, they switched it up. Like it's really based on his life, but in the movie, he turns out, instead of being a comedian, he turns to being a tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. Like he wants to be a tattoo artist. So, he's practicing his tattoos on his friends. In the beginning they were shitty, but in the end, he gets better and better. Cool. The more he practices.
Yeah, I haven't watched that movie yet, man, and I really kind of regret it. My wife and I, we have something like, okay, that movie, we have to watch it together. Mm-hmm. That other movie, it doesn't matter. You can watch it in your side. And this is one of those movies that we want to watch together. We haven't had the chance yet. But definitely, Pete Davidson is there. Bill Burr is there. I love Bill Burr comedy too. So, and it's a bunch of other well-known actors.
Steve Buscemi. Dominic Lombardozzi. Like
and yourself.
And myself. Yeah.
So you play a firefighter, right, in that movie?
Yeah, I played a firefighter. We actually had to do like legitimate firefighter training before we even started filming.
Wow.
Which is tough. I never really understood and realized how much a firefighter really has to do to prepare for their job, and it's a little overwhelming. Like they have to go in a burning building in the dark. You can't see anything. You're on your hands and knees crawling through a fire.
Wow.
You have to hold on to the wall to find your way in and out the building. It's a little scary. Yeah. It's not for everybody.
I have a few clients as a tattoo artist, the firefighters. And definitely, man, they tell me a lot of stuff, they go through in the process of training and then in real life. So how they describe it to me, basically in simple words, I would say, is that no matter how much you train, it's very scary too. Until you do it several times, and then it's just scary. It's not like it's never known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, it's definitely a crazy job to have.
Definitely crazy.
I'm thankful that it's that people doing it, man, because I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's for real, man. I'm too much of an artist for that. So when you start acting, how did it happen, man?
It's weird. It's a weird thing. Like, I grew up with an appreciation for movies and like, TV shows and things of that nature. Like, I really love film. I really love film and everything else. Like, there's so many movies I've seen, like from The Dark Knight Rises to Raising Arizona to Beetlejuice. Like I love them all.
You mentioning movies, kind of comic-based movies. Is that you were into that style of movies too? Because you mentioned a little bit that you were into drawing.
Yeah, I used to draw when I was like my son's age, a little younger, and I was really into comics. I collected them. I still collect comics now.
Oh wow!
So like one of my favorite shows is The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. Another new show I just discovered, Invincible, which is made from the same creators as The Walking Dead. Amazing! You guys should check it out. It's on Amazon.
I gotta check it out.
Amazon Prime. Like it's really,
what is that about? Invincible?
It's kind of like the movie Brightburn. Like say like if Superman was had an evil side and he turned to the dark side. Like could you really control someone with the powers of Superman who was evil?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's an interesting twist and plot, and a lot of great voice actors in there. A lot of them from The Walking Dead as well.
Oh, it's an animation?
Yes, animation. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I have to check it out, definitely. Yeah. It's something to watch with my kid, or no? It's more like, no, it's too raw. It's not PG.
I wouldn't watch that with the kids.
Okay. Because that's all the kind of thing. We have the movies I have to watch with my wife, and that's a rule that applies to me. You know how it is. She watched them, and then she tell me, "Oh, I watched it already," even when we agreed to watch it together. But I cannot watch it by myself because I get in trouble. But the same with my kids. I have that like, oh, that movie we have to watch it together, or that show. But okay, I know watch this one with them.
Yeah, I have a daughter at home that's 19 months old, and I can't watch that around her.
I know. Sometimes I try to expose my son to zombies and stuff like that. So you know, sometimes you can watch horror movies or zombie movies that they are not too gore, you know, or too explicit. Let's say, you know, it's not too sexual explicit either, and still I try to, you know, make them watch. Not make them, just sitting with me and watch some. So make them understand this is makeup, it's people working, rather than getting scared about all the movies.
But
you know?
but you gotta understand, some things that aren't scary to us will be scary to them. Like Chucky, like Child's Play. You know, like now we can laugh about it, but when we were younger, it scared you out of your mind. You know, you'd be alone in your room and think your dolls will come to life.
I know.
Or action figures, and they might kill you. You know,
I think the scariest movie for me of all the time was Exorcist, the original.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Blake? Linda Blake or something?
Yeah, Linda Blair.
Right? Oh, Blair. Yeah. I really suck at names. Man. I told you earlier, I really suck. I don't know how I even got close. But that was the scariest movie for me.
Oh yeah.
I come from a very little town in Venezuela, and back then, I don't know nowadays because I've been here for almost 20 years. But back then, I'm sorry, it was kind of, how you say, like, what is the word? Urban legend. That kind of possessions. So probably was people with some attacks of, oh man, what happened with my brain? You know that some people sometimes get like shaky and convulsions and stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Epilepsy. Is that how you say in English? Epilepsy?
Yeah, epilepsy, yeah.
So
seizures, yeah.
We see that happening around us, but I always heard that's a possession. They're being possessed.
Yeah.
So it was like a reality, you know, that was so close to you. And then when we watched the movie, it was like, oh my God, maybe that gonna happen to me too. You know, so that really scared me.
Yeah, especially if you're religious. You know, like I said, I went to a Catholic high school.
Ooh.
You know, so like I'm Catholic and I grew up, you know, and all that. I'm not too religious now, but I grew up in that, and you know, it is scary.
It is, right? It was. So. I saw a few of the trailers where you appear in movies, and a couple of the movies you are like the badass. And of course, you're a huge guy with tons of muscles and stuff. You feel attracted to these kind of characters more, or?
So that actually all ties into how I started. Actually, I'm glad you asked that. Mm-hmm. So basically, I used to bodybuild. I was really into fitness. I still am. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, I guess he's the prototype. Like, he used to be Mr. Olympia, and then he somehow transformed that into a successful movie career. You know, Conan the Barbarian, Terminator, Predator, you know, True Lies. You know, like, Arnold was king, you know?
I know.
And I kind of thought, you know what, being a bodybuilder, maybe I could pattern myself after Arnold and do what he did. You know, so somehow, some way, I got it in my head when I was like 30, 31, that, hey, you know what? Maybe I could be in films, you know? So I took it upon myself to try to do a self-tape for an audition for a movie that was filming in Pittsburgh. So I went to the New York Film Institute to tape the audition. So as I went in and I was coming out, I actually walked into this guy, and he was like, hey, man, you ever thought about being in movies or TV or anything like that? And I was like, you know what? Funny you say that. That's why I'm here. You know, and it turned out, you know, it was Adam Silver of BMG Management.
Oh, sure.
And his office was right around the corner. And, like, we walked in, and, you know, they signed me right there.
Oh, wow.
And they actually deal with specifically, like, guys in the fitness industry, you know, like, you know, muscle heads, you know. You know, so, like, you know, if you need a big guy, you know, in your show or movie, you know, like, you know, they're the go-to talent agency to find that. So I was with them for a little bit, and it was dry in the beginning. I didn't really book anything because I didn't have any experience. Mm-hmm. You know, I was still submitting for stuff on my own. And actually, I got lucky. The very first thing I submitted for was a commercial. It was for Long Island Light and Power Association in Long Island. It was a local commercial, and I was actually the star in the commercial.
Oh, wow.
So just think about it. You're spoiled on your first day out. You know, you're starring in the commercial. It was local, supposed to be just for Long Island. But then it turns out it came on during the NBA playoffs all throughout New York.
Oh, wow.
So then I have all my friends calling me like, hey, I just see you on TV. You know,
it's a cool feeling, right? I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you feel a little accomplished, you know?
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's not to be cocky or anything, but you have to. It's always been hard, right? People assume that if you celebrate your own goals that you accomplish, your accomplishment, you being cocky or arrogant. It's not about that, you know. I mean, we have to celebrate it. We work hard for everything that we do. Sometimes, yes, some people go a little to the extreme and definitely go cocky extreme.
Exactly.
But I'm myself, you know, I'm in that position. I try to don't even mention anything I do or anything I accomplish more than to my very close family, just to, you know, prevent to be seen as a arrogant or whatever.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm super happy when any of my friends accomplish anything, and I get to know, even from them. I don't see it as, you know, being arrogant.
But at the same time, you also can't be too happy and too complacent with where you are, even if you are successful, because then you're not going to grow as a person.
Definitely.
You know, you're going to just be content with what you have and not get more. So you always have to stay hungry.
I agree with that, 100%.
It's like in the movie Pumping Iron, Arnold said, one of his friends said, you know, the wolf climbing the hill isn't as hungry as the wolf on top of the hill. And then Arnold replied, that's true. You know, he's not. But when he wants his food, it's there. You know, like he knows what to do and how to get it.
Wow, that's a very good metaphor.
Yeah. So I try to live by that. And then also, you know, after that commercial, I got another commercial for McDonald's in Germany.
In Germany?
Yeah, a McDonald's commercial that I was shooting in Germany.
How that happened?
I applied for myself online, actorsaccess.com, which is a great website. If any new up and coming, you know, actors, you know, they want to try to get in the game, you know, that's a great website to be on, as well as castingnetworks.com. Those are two of the best sites. You know, I still use those to this day, actually.
Oh, wow.
You know, you can find work on there, great work. So I found that commercial on there. I was a basketball player. And then through BMG Talent, they got me a New York Lottery commercial, Powerball.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So you got a commercial for McDonald's in Germany.
Yeah.
So you have to fly there and record it there? Or
we filmed here, but it aired in Germany.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. So when I go on YouTube and I look at the commercial, like I see the comments, everyone was like, wow, this guy's a giant. You know, they're saying it in German.
In German.
You know, and I had friends that would translate for me. But they were like, oh, this guy's big. Like they were thinking I was like Shaq, the way the commercial was shot.
Okay. And are you speaking in the commercial at all?
No, I'm just playing basketball.
Okay.
And like I take a basketball from a little kid and hand it back to him. You know, and he's just looking up to me and like, whoa, you know.
I bet. Yeah.
You know, like everything's big in New York, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like so it was pretty funny.
Cool, man. That sounds fun. So what happened after that? You say?
So I did a New York Lottery Powerball commercial that I got through BMG Talent, and I was an alien in it.
Oh.
It was me and some other bodybuilders. It was Kai Green, Eugene Mission, and another guy, I forget his name.
So were you actually playing basketball during that time?
I used to play basketball when I was younger. I used to love it. I'm 6'6". But when I was younger, I was like my son's size.
Yeah.
You know?
But still, how tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
6'1", still, yeah. I mean, it's not like he was 4'5" or something.
Yeah, but I weighed pretty much the same thing he weighs right now, so which isn't too much. You know, I keep telling him to get in the weight room, by the way. But that's a story for another day. But anyway, it's not. You know, when you're in athletics, you have to have like a certain size. You have to be in the weight room to progress. You know, and I wasn't about that lifestyle then. You know.
Okay.
I was just having fun with it.
So you did that commercial for the lottery.
Yeah.
And you kept going. More commercials came.
Yeah, I kept going. Got that commercial. Then I was in an opera, actually, believe it or not. Anna Nicole the opera. Yeah.
In the opera?
Yeah, I don't sing. I was just singing and I was acting. I played one of her bodyguards. It was great. Like it was my first time doing like, I guess like theater in a way, performing in front of a live audience every night, 2,000 people sold out.
Wow. At
the Brooklyn Academy of Music. It's a little nerve wracking, you know.
You're telling me, and I'm sweating. I'm like, shoot, I cannot do that.
You know, you can't mess up. You know, you're in front of people live. You know,
and if you mess up, you have to know how to get out of that on point. Like make it seem like it's part of what is happening.
Exactly.
It's crazy. I always admire people who do live performance, any kind. Musicians, you know, if they miss a little bit the lyrics or whatever, you notice it, but whatever, part of the concert. But we acting like in theaters is crazy, man. They talking to you, they have to get you involved and themselves, right?
Right.
If any mistake happen, how to don't make it cut the flow of the action that's happening.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, like you got to keep going, you know, because most of the 99% of the time, you're the only one who notices the mistake. You know, the audience doesn't notice, but they'll notice if you make it aware that they should notice.
Yeah,
you know?
it makes sense what you're saying. Yeah,
you know, so
I play a little bit music when I was young.
Okay.
And I suck. I don't know anything about music. I love music, like everybody would say. I really love listening to music. But my friends were talented. They knew how to play instruments. But they needed somebody else, so they teach me how to do it. But basically, put your finger here, and do this, and keep the time. That's it. I was just repeating what they tell me, right? And something that taught me very, very early was that, like, if you fuck it up, just try to get it back, you know? But in music, you realize when it's like young bands, you know, not like professional, but young bands, any mistake they turn around, they kind of make it. So now everybody's aware, oh, something bad happened.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, people don't never notice it. At least there is somebody with, of course, know very well the songs or got the ear for the music or stuff.
Yeah, I love music. Like I listen to music like every day. Like, I mean, mostly hip hop, but I listen to all kinds of music. Like, it just puts me in a zone. And I used to play instruments when I was younger. I don't know.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, my parents used to, like, I don't know what they were trying to do, but trying to keep me cultured. But I used to have to take piano lessons.
Oh, wow. Cool,
I
man.
actually took violin lessons. It's weird. Like,
I cannot picture you side with your muscles playing a violin. It would be like little thing.
It didn't last too long, but I did do it.
You got any of the music in you? Play any instrument anymore?
No. If I had to play the violin now, I probably couldn't do it to save my life.
I know.
I could still play a couple songs from the piano.
Oh, wow.
But not too many.
I have a piano in the shop. We go there later. You can play some music too. Yeah. Awesome, man. So let's go a little bit that talk because I don't want him to fall asleep.
I'm wide awake.
I was checking your Instagram, right? Getting a little prepared for this conversation. And I noticed you guys love sneakers.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how you do it, but every photo is a different pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
A lot of Jordans for you?
Yeah. I got on the Union 4s right now. You got on the Sakas.
That's what you guys...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those you have in one of the photos. I'm sure somebody's commenting on that. Right?
Yeah.
How's that?
You know what it is? I grew up in Brooklyn. So, you know, sneaker culture was big. You know, back then that's when Jordan was still playing, and having a Jordan was like having a trophy, you know. It was impossible to get them. You know, you had to beg your parents for the money to get them.
Yeah.
You know, luckily, you know, my mom, you know, my parents had good jobs, so they were able to afford me some pairs. Other pairs I had to get on my own, or, you know, beg my grandmother to help buy me a pair, things like that. I didn't have all of them. So now that, you know, I'm grown and I'm adult, you know, I buy most of the pairs that I couldn't get when I was younger.
Oh,
and then
cool,
I get the new ones that look good to me, that are appealing to me. You know, it's like kind of like art. Like, I like to get the pairs that are tough to get, that everybody doesn't have access to. So, you know.
No, just a little closer. Actually.
Oh, okay, all right.
The closer is
Gotcha.
better sound. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I love sneakers. Like, it's so fun to collect.
It's a huge culture behind it, right?
Yeah.
It's also very stressful. So it's also very stressful because that sneakers app, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was in the sneaker app.
and super expensive, man.
Yeah.
I was following for a little while through some friends. You know, I got the little, you know, curiosity to check a little bit. This page comes the sneaker in the morning, and they're sold out in seconds.
Oh yeah.
And less than 1 hour later, it's in a bunch of different websites, double the price, triple the price.
Oh yeah. The sneaker resale game is crazy.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. For me, I've never been into sneakers. It's different culture. I come from Venezuela. I got some friends that they like it, but you know, we expect, again, a small town, no internet, nothing like that back in the day. So it was not so much access to that culture. But my friends were into basketball, and of course Jordan. You know, everybody knew Jordan.
Everybody
no matter
Jordan.
how small your town is, everybody knows Jordan.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have the sneakers and the how you call it, the kind of t-shirts they used to play.
The jerseys.
The jerseys, man. My brain is numb today. The jerseys, everybody wanted to have that, right? But so I got into that, but I never been myself. My daughter like it. She's 13 and she likes them. She always like, can we get the Jordans or whatever? I don't know how to find them, and I don't want to pay like $700 for a pair of shoes or more. You know?
Yeah, you really have to be on top of your game today. Like you have to know when they're gonna come out, what time they're gonna come out, or you have to pay attention to all the websites, all the tweets, or else you're gonna miss it, and you're gonna end up having to pay that double, triple price.
Yeah. So I bought myself a pair of Jordans long time ago. I never wear them, but they're not that popular. I think they're the 11s or something, gray, whatever. So they're not that popular because you can still find them.
Cool grays, yeah.
You guys know, you know more than what I'm talking. But you know what I'm saying? They're not that popular. You're trying to find it in other websites. They're about the same price that when they came out.
I mean that's fine too. You got to wear what you like too.
Yeah. No, I like how they looked in that moment. But I don't feel comfortable wearing them too much because the style of shoes, I don't know why. I have them there. And I have one of my clients gave me a pair of, like a gift, a tip, I would say. The number 9, I think. This is black and white. I think have some blue in the sole or something. I don't know. I'll show you later.
Okay.
But yeah. But I never worn it. They're in the box still in my closet. It's crazy, right?
Keep them on ice.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one day I gotta wear them. Who knows? I wore them today to go to the shop with you guys. So I fit in. So what happened? How you got into movies now? Is serious?
So all right. So I did those couple commercials. I did the opera.
What year was that about?
This was probably about
when you started. When
I say 2010.
Oh,
2010, 2011.
Recently, let's say.
Yeah.
Because you've been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. We're going to get into all that. So 2010, 2011. So then I also, for a period of time, I was a bodyguard and I did security. So I did bodyguard for a lot of hip hop artists, Saudi royalty, all kinds of people. Like I've been around so many people. So I was traveling the world. So I wasn't really, at home in New York, so I wasn't able to, really focus on acting. It's impossible to act if I'm, in Germany or Poland or something like that, And then plus with the look that I have, it was all based on my physique. So I can't maintain my physique if I'm traveling. I can't stick to my diet. I can't stick to my regimen. I can't stick to working out. All the things that make me successful as an actor right now. So I had to put that on the back burner. So I was traveling for a while, and then eventually I said, you know what? I need to just, stop doing that. So in 2017, when I was done working with Migos, shout out to them, by the way, Culture 3 is fire. Love those guys,
Shout out to them, man.
Yeah. Great album, knocking it right now. But when I was done with them, I said, you know what? Let me humble myself, do some background work. You can find background work on those websites I mentioned earlier. And I actually was doing background work on Gotham. So I was working on a couple of episodes.
Background work means?
It means you're a background actor. It means you're in the background, you're seen, but you're not talking. You just.
But is the same as an extra? Or?
Yeah, extra. You're an extra. Yes.
Like an extra, right?
You're an extra.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
So you're not paid that much. You're there, but you're in the mix, getting experience. Getting your feet wet. Because I never took acting lessons.
Oh no.
No, self-trained, self-taught. I just feel like it's an inner passion that I have. And if I was told that I was bad, I would go seek lessons. But you should always perfect your craft. Like if I have a big audition, there's times I would go get coaching. There has been times where I've gotten coaching. If it's something major and I feel like I need to polish up.
Yes.
Fine tune.
That's a smart man.
Have a second set of eyes on you.
Yes.
So I did the background work, and through the background work, some of the people on the set said, you know what? Hey, man, you should be one of the guys in here, fighting, doing battle with one of the main characters, because they saw my build and saw my physique, because I stood out. And, they gave me a shot. They gave me an audition. So Gotham gave me an audition to be a villain. And I actually booked it. I got it. I was lunkhead. My very first major role, co-star role. I fought Joker Yeah, can't.
How exciting have to be that, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Joker, Catwoman, and Bruce all in the same episode. Like, so overwhelming. Just imagine your first time out, you know, in a major role on a show that you used to watch. You know, I used to sit at home watching this show, and now I'm in it.
Wow, man.
You know, it was a little surreal, you know. And then through that, I was able to secure a manager. And through the manager, I was able to secure...
Wait, but hold on, man. Come on. You cannot leave me like that. Just tell me a little bit about that. So, how you feel like... I mean, they called you, they said, like, you should do some of these main characters, one of the bad dudes or whatever, and then they sign you up right there, or they give you, like, a couple of costumes for those characters?
No, they didn't. It wasn't just handed to me. Like, they gave me an audition. I had an audition. And I guess I nailed the audition, and, you know, and they trusted me enough to give me that role and give me a shot, you know, with no experience, nothing, you know, just my look.
By look, and because I mean you casted and they saw you were putting the job into.
And I guess I had the talent that they required of it, you know.
How was that feeling? How is that feeling first of knowing that you're going into a casting or casting? Of something that gonna be now a main character, not anymore like a back person or whatever. And then how it feels when they say, "Okay, you got it, you gotta do it." You come home like, family, listen to this.
Yeah, I was excited. I came home. I told my girl, you know, like, look, I just got this. You know, she was so happy for me.
2017 is that still?
End of 2017. Yeah. I think, about that time, yeah.
So that was like, what year are we? 21?
Yeah.
So like 4 years ago, pretty much? Oh, very recently, man.
Yeah.
So you were big already. You were in your 14s, 13s or something when Dad come
15,
home.
16.
And he said, I got to be Batman Bat on the screen now.
It's crazy.
I cannot imagine how it got to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My father on TV.
Yeah.
Like fighting all those. You know what I'm saying? Because it's super surreal just the fact to see one of your family members in TV, right? Doing acting.
Yeah, I think my sisters were more excited than I was because they watched the show too. Like we all used to watch the show at home. And actually in 2014 I had a major injury. I said I used to bodybuild.
What year?
2014. So that summer I actually snapped both my quad tendons. I ruptured both my quad tendons squatting 500 pounds.
Shoot.
Yeah, like I don't go that heavy anymore. I can't if I could, but even if I could, but it was very devastating. So like I was on my way to trying to be a pro bodybuilder. You know, I'm very tall, which is, you know, rare for a bodybuilder. You know, most of them are short and compact. You know, so my biggest knock was not my upper body. It was completely developed. I just needed to develop my legs even more, you know, to catch up to my upper body. You know, so it was tough coming from a basketball player background and being an ectomorph and being skinny my whole life, you know, to putting that muscle on my legs. So I was training them hard, pushing them, and I pushed them too much. And that day they just gave out. I had to get surgery. Then my legs were locked in braces for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the physical therapy was the most painful experience I ever had in life because your joints are now stiff. So to get that range of motion back, it's just agonizing pain. Like,
wow.
I wish that pain on no man. Like, that's how bad it is. Not even my worst enemy. So
wow.
So like, yeah, I had to go through that. I was able to rebuild my legs. So I had to take some time off. So I wasn't doing bodyguard work then. I wasn't acting. I wasn't doing anything. You know, I had to recover and get my life back together. But when I got my legs back together, I actually went back out on the road in 2016 with Pusha T, and we were on tour. And then, you know, then I was with Designer, then I was with Migos. And then, like I said, you know, then I started back with the acting.
So now you have to cast for Garden, right? You have to do the casting.
Yeah.
How scared were you? Like you prepare your mind before going there? Like, okay, it's the time. We've been working for this moment. Don't fuck it up. Come on. Let's go in that room and let's do what we got to do. Let's get
Yeah.
Were you like pumping yourself up or were you super scared, like not sleeping the day before? Or?
I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm always a little nervous before every audition because you only have like one shot to make it right. Except now after COVID, everything's a self tape, so you can do it as many times as you want until you feel it's right. But it's not easy. It's not an easy thing. You have to memorize all your lines, hit all your cues, hit all your marks. Convey that emotion with your eyes, with your body. Tell that story of that character. You have to know the background of that character. Where are they coming from? What did they have for breakfast that morning? How did they feel when they woke up? What was going through their mind while they were in this moment? So many different things that go into acting. People think acting's easy. Acting is not easy at all.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at it. You watch a show and say, "Hey, I could do that. I could do what they're doing." Until you really get into the meat of it and you realize, "Oh wow, this isn't easy." Like even background actors, like nothing is easy.
I bet, man.
Like there's a whole process to even getting selected to be an extra. They just don't take anybody.
I know. It's that thing that some people is so good doing the job that make it look so easy for the rest of us. I did a little part in a movie, but a low budget movie, small movie for a friend, right? And I have to play a Latino gangster, whatever. Man, I feel so ridiculous the whole time. But you're pretending to be somebody else. And as you said, you're trying to think, okay, this person has to be a badass person, right? Like somebody that can go his way, get his way, whatever he wants, right? But he's protecting now his boss or whatever, right? And you're trying to create that in your mind. Then you're trying to act in that way. And then you feel like, I'm not this person. What the fuck I'm doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But for somebody that's an actor, I mean, it gotta be normal, right? Or it set the mind to, okay, this is what I gotta do. But I'm not an actor. I was trying to do something for somebody as a favor, let's say. It was a fun favor. I was excited to do it too, right? But it was so hard. Just pretending to don't be you, being somebody else, and don't feel ashamed to do it. You know what I mean? Don't feel like embarrassed. I was feeling like embarrassed of doing it. Like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I understand what you're saying.
So, and then what is complicated is that then they say, okay, cut. Now do it again with a camera in your face.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? I have to do? Yeah, because now we got to do a close up. And now do it again. The camera is here. I have to do it again, but I don't even know what I was doing before. I cannot remember what I just did.
Yeah.
And then now we got to put the camera in the floor to see you choose. So you have to do, it's like, wait, what you guys doing? And repeat the word and repeat the words and repeat the words. And you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah. It's just no easy.
Yeah, people don't realize like we got to do like 1 million takes of just one shot, one scene.
3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my time then on the movie, 3 seconds. Took me 1 full day.
I remember when I was on set with you for the King of Staten Island, like the firefighter scenes, like all of those, sometimes they took a few takes. So.
Yeah. I actually brought him with me to work when I was doing the movie.
How exciting is that?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So how you feel, how you feel knowing that your father is, with all these people? Like I saw you in a photo with Michael Jordan, for example. How you feel about it? Like you were, what, 13 kind of when he's...
No, older, like 15, 16.
When he started. But for you was always like, yeah, whatever, it's normal. My father is an actor. Or it was more like, oh my God.
Nah, at first it was like, wow, like this is crazy. But like as the years like went on, it became regular because like I'm with them all the time. So
you have met a lot of people too through that process, right?
Yeah.
Tell me the truth. How many times you have used it to get girls? You know that movie? Yeah, that's my dad.
Yeah, it's funny because like sometimes people will see my dad in something that I didn't even see, and then they'll tell me like, oh, like this is your dad in this. I'm like, yeah. That's crazy. Like
that gotta be cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
It gotta be cool, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are you feeling like you want to pursue that career?
Yeah, definitely in the future. I would definitely do acting.
Yeah. You feel excited that he's doing it? You want him to have the plan B, but where to fall in just in case, or go all for it?
He has the freedom to do whatever he wants in life, just as long as it's it's something morally right, and it provides a stable income for him and his family. Whenever he does have a family, the thing with acting is you have to be able to deal with rejection. A lot of people have trouble
to do it what?
You have to deal with rejection in this business. Like even the big stars, like I've had celebrities tell me like, I had discussions with them about acting, and believe it or not, they don't book every role they go for either. You know, people think, you know, just because you're a certain name, you're guaranteed to get this and that. You know, I mean, there is some nepotism involved in this industry, and people get handed things, you know, but not for the most part. You have to earn it.
And the one that get handed, they earn the position.
Yeah.
I'm sure that in the beginning it wasn't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They earned the
Exactly.
being in that point now where they get handle the stuff, right?
Exactly. Like there's so many ups and downs to this business. Like I you know, like I've been in so many things. A lot of scenes got cut from things I've done. You know, like you could film something and when the editing process happens, you know, they cut something out. You know, like I was in a Super Bowl commercial. You know, Pop-Tarts. You know, they didn't film from my head up. You know, they filmed from my neck down because the gag was I'm supposed to be a celebrity football player and you don't know who I am and I'm eating the Pop-Tart. So, so you see my big my big body, my big ashy hand eating the Pop-Tart. But you don't see my face. So like everyone's watching the Super Bowl.
Man,
you're like,
what exposure that
you know,
is.
yeah, that
Super
been,
Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that would have been huge, major. You know, but people didn't see. And then I just filmed another Super Bowl commercial for this past year.
Can you imagine? You come like, trust me, that's me. People like, yeah, fuck you, that's not you. No, it was me. It was me. No, it's not you. Don't lie to me. Right? It's like, oh fuck. So then you did another, you film another one?
Yeah, and I grew up eating Pop-Tarts too, so it was a dream come true. And then a lot of actors go their whole careers not even having a Super Bowl commercial, not even being blessed to have that. So I was lucky enough to have one. But then I was told I was going to have another one. So I'm excited. You know, I was going to be a wrestler, you know, in a Super Bowl commercial for E-Trade. You know, and it turned out, you know, they ended up using a girl, you know, happy for her. You know, it was her first time, her first acting job ever. And she was nervous the entire shoot. And I'm telling her, you know, you're doing great. And they ended up using her for the shot. So they didn't use me. I mean, you win some, you lose some, you know.
I know.
But that was 2 years in a row. being you know, nicked out the Super Bowl, you know.
Wow. But what a big change from a super tall, muscle black dude to a girl. What was the change? What happened? Like, I don't know. I imagine that when people do castings, they're like, okay, we need this guy to be a bodyguard. Then I gotta choose me, a short little guy with no muscle. They need somebody that represent that, right?
Yeah.
Or I need somebody that represent whatever it is. So they kind of picture how the person should look. How were they casting that?
I don't know. It's weird.
That persona, that character for that commercial when they casting you and a girl and the girl got it. It's like,
yeah. I mean, you never know what they're looking for, you know. Like, and then I guess, you know, it's like a lot of, it's 2021. You know, a lot of female empowerment. You know, which is good. You know.
So sorry to interrupt. It's inappropriate that I say a black dude. No, right?
No, it's fine.
That's not rude, right?
It's fine.
Sorry, man. I sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, oh, you cannot say that anymore. Now I don't know what things that I can say or don't say anymore because I didn't mean it with disrespect. So,
oh no, no disrespect taken.
Perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No,
I was just to make sure, you know. I don't want people to come like, what the fuck, that guy?
No, don't worry. Cancel culture is not going to come for you. It's okay.
I didn't say nothing bad, right?
No,
right? Okay, perfect. Thank you, man. Okay.
Yeah. So it's good. You know, like everybody's getting a fair voice now. You know, you know everybody's women, just everybody. You know, just a lot of minority groups that didn't probably have a voice before. You know, are now being put on the forefront, which is good for the culture. So I'm not complaining, but it happens. You know, can't cry over spilled milk. But like I said, you got to deal with rejection in this business.
Yes.
You know, like there's been so many things. Like I said, like I've been in, the scenes were cut. Like I was in the Hustlers movie, and my scene got cut entirely.
And which one?
Hustlers with J-Lo.
You were in that movie too?
Yeah.
What happened?
So my scene was with Constance Wu, and she was giving a guy a lap dance, and she calls for security. And I come in and I drag the guy out. You know, like in a very powerful way. You know, it was hilarious. You know, we filmed that for a day out in Brooklyn, and it didn't make the movie.
Oh, man.
You know, yeah, it happens. My name's still in the credits, you know.
Oh, it is, yeah?
Yeah.
How was the experience working with J-Lo?
I didn't get to film with J-Lo.
Oh, okay.
I wish. You know.
You didn't get to meet her?
No.
Different dates?
She was there, but she was filming like when my scene was done. So when I wrapped up and left, she was coming in. You know, I kind of felt like hanging around set that day. You know?
I don't know how you didn't. I would still be there sitting in that set just in case.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah. It's also very surreal for me from outside to see how movies are made when the people who make the plans, it's like, okay, we gotta record all of these scenes this day, and then we gotta record this, and then they put it together and it makes sense. But they're recording sometimes the last scene at the beginning of the process of filming.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't realize until I started doing it. You're
It's
right.
super surreal, man.
Yeah, you're right.
The mind of the people.
Yeah, the way everything is edited together.
Yeah.
It's.
Tell me a little bit
amazing.
about that. How it's been for you? Because they're filming, right? But you are in a place that we don't see, where microphones maybe, or lightings, or people sitting around and telling you things or whatever, and you pretending that this is happening. So when we see something that is happening, but you there pretending all of that is happening, right? But you don't know how you're gonna look in the movie until the movie's out, or the episode of the show or whatever.
So the main thing you have to realize is when you're an actor, for new actors too, like some people have a tendency to look directly in the camera. Never look directly in the camera. Like that's like one of the cardinal sins of acting. Unless you're being told to break that fourth wall and do it. Certain movies like Two Could Play That Game with Vivica Fox and Morris Chestnut, and like they're both like Vivica's talking to the camera directly at you because she's like telling the audience, what her man is doing wrong, and Morris is like talking to his buddy, trying to, they're both playing a game with each other, But other than that, no, like you can't do it.
You see a line. You ever watch The Office?
You know what? That's a very hilarious series that I haven't sat down and watched yet, and I'm gonna binge it.
And you should watch it, man. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's weird. It catches you, And you
Steve-
start watching,
Steve
and you're like,
Carell's hilarious.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is this? And then 2 minutes later, you're like, oh my god, you're into that. super into that. But the point is that that style of series where they have, I forgot the name. They have a name for that when kind of the camera is following you and the camera is checking and
Oh, yeah.
and then they're in a room talking to the camera like it's a reality TV almost. They're talking directly to the camera, like
So you feel like it's real, like it's
making
not,
it feel like it's real
not a
happening
scripted
there.
show, yeah.
But they talk a lot to the camera, or they're doing an scene and they turn around to the camera to make a phone, like to tell us that this guy's fucking.
Yeah, bring you in on the joke.
They do a lot of that in that kind of show. But you're right, in the movies, you don't really see much of actors, characters, whatever, looking to the camera.
Yeah, you just have to be engaged in the scene and engaged with the other actor, and focus on them, and that's what pulls you into the scene. So you're not focused on everything else around you, the lights, the cameras, everything else,
How hard is to block that shit out of your attention?
Yeah, it's sometimes it's tough,
right?
Sometimes it's tough, depending on the scale of the production,
And the experience. I bet that for the beginning it was a little tougher, and then with experience you kind of get more used to all of that is always there. It's crazy also to see how they make the movies, and they have a lot of these green walls, and then that become a full fight scene on Avengers or whatever. But they were acting just two people in front of a lot of green screen, and then imagine all these things that are going on. And when you watch the movie, you get to watch the scene with all the action, explosions, and movie, whatever, and they make it seem like they're seeing that too, but they're not really seeing any of that. It's so crazy, man.
Yeah, like you really have to tip your hat to like all these actors that are in these Marvel films with all the special effects and the CGI, because they film a lot of that, just themselves with a green screen, and they have to act like everything else is going on around them.
It's crazy, man.
And
hanging by a cable, and
Yeah.
They make it seem like there is no cable in the movie. They're not uncomfortable by the cable. You know what I mean? It's not just the fact that then the artist gotta erase the cables and put the background. It's not just that part that is amazing by itself, but the actors don't be uncomfortable by something that's pulling them. You know what I mean?
I'm actually filming Righteous Gemstones right now in South Carolina, and one of the scenes there was some wires involved in one of the stunts. It's like you said, they have to act like it's not there. Just act like normal.
Wow, man. So, but how's your perception of yourself when you making the movie, but now you are home and you turn on the TV, you're like, yeah, I did that. But you know what I mean? But now you see in front the other point of view. not from your eyes looking around and the actors, but now from our eyes looking at you, and you're like, oh, this is what I was doing. How they make that thing was, I don't know, the colors, the sound, the voices, everything now is whole.
Yeah, like everything looks weird because like in real life things look like real life, but then you see things on camera, it's like, oh wow, the image is sharper, you know, like you know, the cinematography really plays a part in it too, you know, like everything, things can be darker, things can be lighter, you know, it's very weird and very exciting to see at the same time. I'm always excited to see the work that I've done for the first time, see how it turns out, and then after that I usually don't watch it again unless I just happen to be flipping the channels and I see it.
No, I bet.
You know, like other than that, I only like to see things once and that's it.
How hard are you with yourself? Like when you watch it, you're like, fuck, why did I do that shit? Why I didn't do this?
Yeah.
Why my back is like that?
Yeah, that I am hard on myself a lot, believe it or not. And like even Gotham, like my first thing, like my character had lines and I forgot my lines.
Oh shit.
I was so nervous I forgot my lines. You know, my very first role. You know? And they didn't correct me because you have creative freedom when, you know, like when you're a big co-star.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so they're not really going to correct you and tell you do this, do that, unless it's egregiously wrong. You know, so nobody corrected me because it could be your creative freedom that, all right, maybe the character doesn't talk, you know, or maybe you want the character to say this too, you know.
Oh,
so,
that's interesting, man.
Yeah, so they just rolled with it, you know, but I was nervous. That's my explanation for that.
Yeah. You know, it's casting people. The people who do the castings, they're amazing. Choosing the person who is going to do this character, knowing that, okay, you fit the persona, but at the same time, I'm sure you're going to put something of you in that character too. You know what I mean? So this person doing the casting has to be so sure that whatever you put of yourself into the character, it's going to fit the final product well, right? And maybe I was watching with my wife this show, the Kandinsky method.
Yeah,
it's not Kandinsky. Kandinsky is a painter.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But it's Michael Douglas is the main character or whatever. So it's a good example of this, what you're saying or what we're talking, because he get a role to do a commercial, but he don't feel moral right about the commercial. He's tricking people to do some bank shitty scam. So he said, I quit or whatever. He leave, right? But he's already recording the scene, and you see how he represents this persona with Michael Douglas character, right? And he quits, right? Then the episode ends, and they put this little kind of short there where it's another actor doing the same thing that he was doing, right? And even though it was the same words, it's a complete different perception of the commercial.
Right.
Just because this actor is now putting his voice and his body language in. And if you put both of them side by side, it's like complete different feelings that you get from the persona, right? Michael Douglas seems to be more elegant and more eloquent to talk and more, better worded, even though they're the same words.
Yeah.
The other guy look at it more like, yeah, whatever, just do this, whatever. It's so crazy, man, because again, they're giving the actor the freedom to. It's not like you have to do it in this exact way.
Exactly.
They kind of do a casting and now expect you to do you, because they feel like you is what they need for that.
Yeah, you have to make it your own. Like my advice for a lot of actors, like when you go into the audition room, you gotta just control the things you can control. You can't control if they're gonna cast you for their part or not. Mm-hmm. But what you can control is how you look. So I make sure I still stick on my regimen, my diet, my training, because I know my physique is a big part of it, and that that opens doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I use that to my advantage. But then where I get them is I can really act. So I show them I have talent.
Mm-hmm.
I could be emotional. I'm not just a typical big guy. Like just play angry roles. I've had auditions to play like doctors, all kinds of stuff. I'm always excited when I'm playing a role that's not just a typical big guy. Like King of Staten Island, I was a fireman. Mm-hmm. Not all firemen are big guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. That was more of a normal role.
Mm-hmm.
And like things like that. Like you gotta work on the things you can control. Like you gotta be prepared. Know your lines. Know the scene. Know what's going on. And just
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Of course, it's crazy. For me, it's just crazy. For me, I keep saying the word crazy. I don't know. I shouldn't repeat it so many times, but it's like magical. It's like music. How you take a guitar in your hands with the same 6 strings that I take the same guitar and I can just make bad noises and you can make beautiful music, right? It's just like magic, right? It's crazy how things happen.
Yeah, like it is kind of magical when you see a creative at work, whether it be an actor or tattoo artist, or a comic book drawer or a singer, a musician, like it is magical because it is art, and you're creative, it comes from the heart, it comes from the soul.
I read something that you had somewhere that states something like, I'm not an actor, I'm an artist. What you remember what was that? I read it somewhere, probably in your IMDb or somewhere.
Probably in my bio, but yes, I believe so. Yeah, like
it was a good statement, but for God, sorry.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm an artist. Like it's a very vulnerable thing, like you said, to be vulnerable and show emotions in front of so many people. Like it's a very scary thing. So like when I practice my lines, I don't even like to practice them in front of certain people. I'll stay to myself. Like I'll maybe sometimes practice with my son. Like I've read lines with him before. Like I've actually had to do a couple of auditions while I was filming King of Staten Island, and while he was on set, he was helping me read some lines.
That's cool. So he read like the other characters, and you do yours.
Yeah. So I'm also like getting my practice too.
That's what I was thinking. Definitely.
Yeah.
And now it gotta be cool because you're doing practice of many during the same movie or if it's a show or whatever. You have to play the character reading lines of different. Maybe sometimes it's a woman, sometimes it's a young guy, sometimes it's a firefighter, sometimes it's an actor. You have to kind of, even though you might not be doing the whole acting, still you kind of putting that information in your brain already when you're reading, right? Like, this is a girl, she's a drunk. I don't know, I'm just making shit up. And so I would probably do it this way if I have to do it, right? So look at it from getting your own experience out of that.
Yeah.
How cool is seeing you practicing a line and then seeing it there in the cameras?
Yeah, it's cool. Like watching behind the scenes too. It's like, dang, like that's really how it happens. Like you wouldn't expect like this how it works. They gotta cut this and then film it again.
Yeah, man. I want to be there. I don't want to act. I don't think I have the balls to do that. But I want to be there and see the whole process one day.
One of these days, I got to bring you down to set with something I'm working on.
It's awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah,
hopefully,
cool.
But it's a little tougher now with the COVID protocols.
Of course, too many protocols.
Like everyone has to be tested, and it has to be just the people that work on the set. Like there's no visitors now.
No, it makes sense.
It's different times right now, but hopefully, like when things relax.
Yes, I think you gotta relax at some point. So tell me a little bit about the how you take care of build your own body. You say about diet, exercise, and regimes. What you do? What you normally do?
So
how is a normal day for you nowadays?
I'm a maniac. Every morning I wake up, I do cardio on an empty stomach, Stairmaster, 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. My shirt is always soaked, and then
45 minutes.
45 minutes, and then I do hanging leg raises for abs right after. I do abs every day, and then I go home and eat breakfast, and then depending on my day, I'll go back and I'll do weights, mm-hmm. and then for like an hour or 2 hours, I only do weight training 4 times a week.
Only. I do 4 times a year. Only. That's only.
And a lot of people have a misconception when it comes to working out and how to build your body. They always say, "Oh, how long are you in the gym for? You must be in the gym for every day." I mean, yes, every day, but I'm not lifting weights every day. I'm eating right every day. Mm-hmm. You have to eat right.
What is eating right for you?
I weigh my meals, so I still have the bodybuilder mentality. So mm-hmm. in the morning, I'll have like 11 egg whites, 11 liquid egg whites, 2 slices of Ezekiel toast. That's meal 1. And then every 2 to 4 hours I eat. So basically for me, every 2 hours. So the next meal is like 8 ounces of chicken breast, 6 ounces of basmati rice, a little bit of coconut oil, Then other meals, 8 ounces of chicken with 6 ounce sweet potato, a cup of vegetables, protein shake, fish, salmon, sweet potato.
So you do a lot of animal proteins, let's say that way.
Yeah.
During the day, you require, right?
Yeah.
Your body require a lot of proteins.
But I don't eat a lot though. Like for the most part, I'm always trying to keep my weight down and try to look lean and have the appearance of being ripped. Like The Rock is always like lean and ripped all the time.
That Rock, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crazy.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
I admire that dude, man.
Yeah.
When you were saying right now that you like to play all those characters and stuff, I was thinking about him. How he was the Rock, right? The fighter or whatever, rough guy. But suddenly he's like the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he's in the movie. What is the name of the movie? With Kevin Hart. The Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji.
And Jumanji. So now it's a funny movie. Then he's a badass, whatever. And then he's again a funny guy. So he jumped from one side to the other of the spectrum. And fit them very well, man. All of those characters fit very, very well.
He was very blessed to have a very great career. I mean, nothing was handed to him either.
No.
He had to work hard. But he had a very blessed career in the WWE, and he was like very charismatic, very funny.
Yeah.
To a lot of us growing up, like The Rock was like probably like your favorite wrestler.
Right? Yeah.
Can you smell? Yeah, exactly. So, he translated that into a successful, acting career because his fans followed him from there to there.
Yeah.
And even though like he did movies like Tooth Fairy that wasn't true to his nature, the way he wanted to look, his physique, they still stuck by him, and then eventually he took over the reins and said, "You know what? I'm gonna put my physique and use that, to shock the world and stuff." Like Arnold, Arnold used his physique as like his physique was like a whole nother character.
Yes.
Like nobody else could have been the Terminator. The
It's
Terminator would have made sense with a skinny guy.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian would have made sense with a skinny guy or a fat guy. It had to be Arnold.
Yeah. But he also tried to play the comedy. I remember he did a Twins movie with Danny DeVito.
Twins was great though.
I don't know how to remember the names.
Yeah.
I get surprised when I remember the name.
Another awesome film. I can always watch that over and over.
Right, that was super fun, man. Danny DeVito. Danny the fucking Vito, man.
And True Lies. True Lies is another great film.
True Lies. Oh, yeah. With his wife, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
And he did another one, Kindergarten Police
Cop,
or Detective Cop or something.
Yeah.
That one was also like this big ass dude playing a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, it works for him. Like he was able to do other things that wasn't just him being like a meathead.
Yes.
Like Vin Diesel did The Pacifier, and that didn't meet such great success. But Vin Diesel's a great guy. Let me tell you, Vin Diesel, I was doing security at a nightclub in New York City. He came into that club one night, and he said, he was having a good time. I said, "Hey, my name's Hank. I'm an actor." He said, "Hey, say no more." His agent was right there. He said, "Take his number." And I thought nothing of it. Like we exchanged numbers. I'm like, he's like, "I got the perfect role for you." And I'm like, all right, he's just bullshitting. He's drunk. He's not thinking about me. He's like, I hear this shit all the time. And then a couple months later, I get a call to audition for a movie, for the Riddick movie. And I'm like,
oh, shit.
Yeah. Like one of my first major auditions ever. This is like 2012, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And then there were some production issues, so things were in limbo after I did my tape. So it was like on TMZ, they were having production issues and stuff. So I was like hanging on the rope for like a while. Eventually they picked someone else. And it's okay because the person they picked looked nothing like me. And there was already someone else in the movie, Bokeem Woodbine, another black dude, bald head. Well, not the same character, but it wouldn't have made sense for both of us to be in the same film.
It would be too alike to be two different characters, right?
Exactly. But I'm still very appreciative of the fact that he gave me a.
You can pull it to you if you want to lean back. Just pull it to you.
Okay, I was still appreciative of the fact that he gave me a shot.
Yeah, try to keep that front close to your mouth. It's when it sounds better. All right. There's like a little in the side, but
is that good?
No, I feel like it's better when it's in front of you.
Right here, that's good. Yeah.
Again, remember, I'm trying to learn all of this.
All right, so I was very appreciative of that.
Yeah, no, definitely, man.
And Vin Diesel's a very busy guy, so I haven't really seen him since that day. But if I see him again, I'll just want to say, thank you for giving me a shot and believing in me. You know, hopefully one day I'll get to work with him. You know,
who knows? Maybe one day he, watch this episode of the podcast randomly, and or somebody tell him like, oh, this guy, who never know. Yeah. Right, he's so busy, so out of the regular world, might never happen, but who knows, right? Yeah. At least now he got that you said thank you and you appreciated it. So, yeah, man, I got a few clients that they're kind of bodybuilders. I have a couple that they compete, but I have a bunch that they take good care of the physiques. And like this client of mine from yesterday, he's a police officer in White Plains, I think, somewhere in that area. Super nice dude. And I don't know, I talked to him already like 20 times. Every time he comes, he got his food, right? Yeah. But all that he eat is a little piece of chicken. And in the same container, he got like almonds. So he eat chicken with almonds. I'm like,
sounds about right.
What you doing? At least put chicken with salad and then eat the almonds. No, he's like, I'm used to that. I just need this kind of nutrients. So, this is my number for this meal. So I don't mind it. So it's super crazy. So yesterday he brought something different. I saw the post. Was like, oh, you got something different today? He said, yeah, it's turkey. So with almonds. That looks even more disgusting, man. But it pay off, He's super lean. He's super fit. So
yeah, you don't eat for flavor, eat for results.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah. That's a tough teaching, man, that I have to try to get in my mind. Stop eating for flavor and for that instant gratification of boom, flavor in my mouth for a second, and then 2 minutes later you feel like shit and look like shit, right?
I mean, I'm human too. Like I love bad food, like trust me, I was eating pizza last night, to be honest, Uh-huh. But the pressure I feel is different from others. Being an actor, like I know, like if I'm going to be shirtless in a scene, mm-hmm. and that's millions of people are going to see that, I know I better look damn good, or else that's going to be there forever, and I'm going to hate myself and be like, damn, see, I should have never ate that pizza or
I know
had those cookies.
But yeah, you can. I mean, eat pizza one day, your body won't even notice it, Yeah. That fat that is in the pizza, your body gonna be like, yes, your joints probably gonna celebrate it. Yeah, you won't eat it storage, it'll go to your veins.
I don't know how he does it. Like while he's dieting, I'm just eating whatever in front of him, like burgers and stuff.
And soda.
So like the discipline is crazy. Like you gotta really be motivated to do that.
I guess once you start and you put the work and you start seeing the reward out of that, then you get motivated to keep going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, it's still hard. So, but still, you were in the gym this morning, right?
Yeah.
So you went, because we set it up for 10 in the morning because you wanted to go to the gym first in New York before you came to Connecticut.
Yeah, I have to. If I don't do that cardio in the morning, I don't feel right.
Oh, okay.
Like I do weights today too, but I could put that on hold till later tonight or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Just as long as I get my cardio done, that's my anchor. You have to find your anchor throughout the day. The Rock is, very prophetic on that as well. He says you have to find your anchor. So like, he said he'll get off a jet, after flying for like 5 hours or whatever it is. Wherever he lands, he could be dead tired, but he'll still, do his workout because that keeps him grounded.
Wow, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I heard that too from, I think it was Joe Rogan. He mentioned it once in one of his episodes, saying that he go to hotels everywhere for his, career as a comedian. But when he gets there, he try to go to the gym right away. Even if he's tired. He say, if I go to the room, I fuck it up. Then I gotta be tired. But if I go to the gym, then I get pumped.
Yeah.
So it's different kind of tired, I would guess. Now you're tired because you exercise, but your brain is full of oxygen and you're motivated, right? And all those hormones are like happy there because you did the work that have to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, cool. So you do cardio every day?
Yeah, every day.
That the steps always? The 45-minute steps?
Every day, because I find that the Stairmaster makes me sweat the most.
Mm-hmm.
I just put it on fat burner mode. And I go, it's intervals. It goes up and down,
That's the fat burn?
Yeah.
Because I try to use the elliptical, right?
Mm.
I used to play beach volleyball, not like professionally, with the friends and some tournaments around here. And now my ankles are in pain all the time. My knees a little. So if I try to do like the Step Master, it hurts. But it's more like an excuse than a real pain. I use the little pain for excuse to don't do it. But the elliptical is a lot softer,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It's less
easier on the
impact.
joints.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot
less
easier.
impact, yeah.
And still, it make me sweat my life. But I have to put it in the, I think it's called random, where it goes like very high. So it goes a little harder, and then it goes softer, and then harder. And that make me sweat my life off. And fat burn in that machine is like walking pretty much. It's super slow because they say that they don't want you to raise your heartbeat or something like too fast because then you're not burning fat. You whatever. I don't know all that science.
Just as long as your heart rate's over like 120, between 120 to 140, you're good.
Yeah. When I get in the machine, it get me to 160 already. Just getting to the gym from the parking lot to the machine, I'm already in the 160. Yeah, man. My heart is beating fast all the time.
Yeah, I used to do sprints when I was younger on the treadmill, but you know, when you're older, like I'm 40 now, you know, I'm not going to do sprints, you know.
Cool. So you were in the blacklist. We were talking a little bit about it. That was for one episode.
Yeah, one episode, one and done because my character died. I got shot. Pow, pow. It was fun. That was a dream come true, actually.
You like that show? You watched the show before you were in it?
Let me tell you something. You know, I never watched the show.
No,
I never watched the show. So I had the audition. I knocked it out the park. I found out I booked it. You know, through my great agent, Lisa Lax Agency.
Shout out to Lisa too.
Shout out to Lisa. She works very hard, you know, to keep me working.
Lisa, find me something. I give you 100% of the money. I just want the experience.
But yeah, so, you know, I booked it. And then I said, you know what, I better do my due diligence and start watching the show. Find out what it's about. From the very first episode of season 1, it hooks you in.
Yeah, man.
It is so good. It is so good.
It is good, man.
Because I was telling people, like, hey, I'm going to be on the show called Blacklist. They were like, The Blacklist? Wait a minute. Yeah, I love that show.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy good.
Yeah, so I ended up watching, like, all the way up until I was in season 6. So, like, all the seasons, you know, so I knew what it was all about. And then, so my character was fighting, he was working for an evil scientist. And then Agent Wrestler comes in, you know, and then, you know, and Agent Keen, they come in and they trying to, like, shake down the whole operation. And then me and Wrestler, we ended up getting into it after I killed a couple of scientists. You know, and then we're in a fight. I get the better hand. I'm about to kill Wrestler, actually. You know, and then the SWAT team comes in. Pow, pow. You know, I was like, damn, I'm not going to be able to come back.
Sad, man. Yeah. How was the experience?
It was awesome because I actually, you know, got to fire a gun on that. You know, I had a Uzi. Wow. My first time working with a gun.
Where they were filming that?
We filmed that. It was upstate. It was around in Westchester, but I forget where exactly.
Yeah, I never got to know where they filmed
they film all over.
All over, right?
All over. It was in a warehouse. It looked like some evil scientist, you know, shit. You know, like
I'm trying to remember if I watched that episode, man, but my memory sucks. So I was telling one of my first episode, I was telling my friend that I always go and rent the same movies over and over. Like I go, like I want to watch this movie, rent it, already watch it, bring it back a week later. Oh, I want to watch this movie, bring on the same movie. It keep doing the same thing over and over, man. It's so annoying. I just forget all the time, right? So I gotta look for that episode. It would be cool. That show, man, I loved it so much. But close to the end, it was a little too dramatic. We Agent King. That's the name of the daughter, right?
Yep, Agent King. Yeah.
Started getting a little too dramatic with her, and the guy that died don't die or whatever. But yeah, it was a very good show. The concept, Remington, man, his character, the way how he talks. And
Spader's, he's an awesome actor.
Oh my god, man, he talks so fluent and all those words that he put out of his ass. I don't know how, and everything. And he knows so much about everything, the cheese and the wines and the culture. I don't know where. And
he's so captivating.
Yeah, man, I love that character, man. That character was the whole thing for me in that movie.
And then another series that was like a dream come true, just like that, was Ray Donovan. That was another thing that I booked, and you know, I actually got that through doing background work on the show. You know, I was doing background work, and then they said, "Hey, you know what? Hey, maybe you should be here fighting." You know, and they gave me an audition. And next thing you know, I'm fighting Bunchy Donovan. You know, wow. So now I'm telling people I'm going to be on Ray Donovan. So I'm telling all these people same reaction, just like Blacklist. Oh, I love Ray Donovan, and I'm like, oh wow, I gotta watch the show. I can't be that guy, you know. So I started binge watching another great series, hooks you in right from the beginning.
I haven't watched that one.
Oh, it's awesome. It's on Showtime, and actually,
what is this one about?
So it's about the father. Oh damn, what's his name again?
Yes, I'm not the only one that forget names. Thank you. You're being polite, I think.
I'm having a brain fart right now.
It's okay.
But he's Angelina Jolie's own father.
Oh fuck, I know that guy. I forgot that name too.
But great guy. So he's the main father of the show, and then he's the patriarch. So then Liev Schreiber's character, like he's one of the older brothers, you know. Then he has his younger brothers, and like they kind of like get shit done like around Hollywood and you know all over. You know, like if you need something, you need somebody killed, you need to get some money from somebody, or you need some this, that, or third. You know, you go to Ray Donovan. You know,
so it's kind of mafia.
So kind of in a way, but not in a way, I guess you could say. You know, so Ray is the guy who gets shit done.
Okay.
You know, but they're a family of boxers.
I gotta check it out, man. It sounds interesting.
You know, so
Showtime?
So they grew up boxing. Yeah, the series actually got canceled, but then they brought it back. They're filming a movie now. They're turning into a movie.
It got canceled for nobody was watching it.
No, they were watching it. People loved it. They didn't want it to cancel. They didn't want it to cancel.
They did something wrong.
I don't know. Like Showtime, they're idiots. They canceled it. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Showtime, but
bro, come on, you have a career in the field.
I know, but you know they canceled it for whatever reason. But they were smart enough to bring it back and film a movie because you know that's what the fans wanted. So they're filming.
And the movie's also on their Showtime.
No, they're filming the movie right now.
But also with Showtime.
It's going to be with Showtime. Yeah, they're filming it now as we speak.
Okay, cool, man.
But yeah, that was a dream come true just to be on that set.
So it's good to mention that sometimes we are looking for opportunities, right, in whatever field we want to explore, right? And people is always waiting for that big shot, right? And don't realize, look you, for example, 2 times, Gotten and this show, Donovan's, what is the name? That show? Donovan? Something? Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
In both occasions, you were a extra, let's call it.
Yeah.
Because I forgot the back thing what you mentioned.
Yep.
And in both occasions, you were called to cast for a main character or a more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the main characters. So it's good to use that as a, let's say, advice or just to throw it there and hint for people, right? Like, don't just sit and wait for the big thing. Just go.
Yeah.
Put yourself in the, you know what I mean? On the stage. Put yourself under the light.
Yeah.
And work hard and just try to show what you can do. Because that is when you can rather find a good opportunity, right?
Yeah, you have to really believe in yourself, and if you have that confidence, it'll shine, and others will see that. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's.
But no small in this case, as an actor, no small character or paper or job is too small. Let's say it that way, because those are small. They're not simple, but still, you know, it's not like the main character. But those back person, how you call them, background characters, pull you out to do one of the 2 main shows that are in TV nowadays, you know. So it's good kind of for advice for people, right? To just don't wait for the big. There is something, I suck. I don't gonna try to say it as a something funny, but it's this kind of fun kind of riddle that people say in like, I don't know. Anyway, so people said something like, this guy fell in the ocean out of the boat and he was like kind of dying there, right? So he started praying, God, please help me, get me out of the water, whatever. And some time passed, and then this boat comes and somebody like, hey, come, let me help you. No. I pray to God, I have faith. God gotta help me, the boat leave. Then a helicopter shows, right?
Right.
And the guy, let me help you. And the guy's like, no, I just pray to God. Let me just wait for God gotta help me. And then the guy dies. He's fucking drunk, right? And go to him. What the fuck, God? I pray you, bro. He said, I'll send you a helicopter. I'll send you a boat. What you want me to do, right? So it's like that. Sometimes people is just waiting for that big thing, and they don't see like the small opportunities might take you there. Might not, but still, there are opportunities just.
And also, you have to do whatever it is you do in life. You have to do it because you love it. So it's not a job. You have to actually have a passion and love for it. You can't do it saying that, be an actor and say, okay, I want to do it because I want to be famous or I want to be rich. I mean, those things are nice, and that comes with it eventually in time. But you have to do it because you love it. Because, like I said, there's a lot of rejection in this. There's a lot of early mornings, late nights. Sometimes we're on set for well over 12 hours. 14-hour days.
Wow.
Crazy. You're tired, and you gotta come back and do it again the next day.
And the preparation too, like you exercise, eat properly. I'm sure sleep certain times to be rested. All of that preparation comes too. It's not just I'm acting. It's the whole package that comes to
exactly.
Whatever you gotta do.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it.
You gotta be a tattoo artist, okay?
Yeah.
It's not just take the machine and do it. You have to draw. You have to read. You have to learn. You have to watch what other people is doing.
Right.
You have to practice and practice and practice, and then you gotta It's kind of like that.
Yeah. You gotta put the work in. A lot of people don't want to put the work in. They just want the easy results. I have some friends that'll hit me out the blue like, hey, can you put me in this show? Can you do this? I'm like, what? Like, first off, you must have me confused with The Rock. I don't have that kind of juice.
I know.
And then second, like nobody handed me anything. Why do you feel you should be handed something? You know?
And even if somebody handed it to you, it's hard to. I cannot imagine asking my friend. I just asked Lisa, give me the paper. I give you the money. But you know what I'm saying? It's not right. I cannot imagine asking my friends like, dude, listen, now that you are famous, can you put me there too, or something? I don't know. It's kind of inappropriate, I would say.
Yeah.
And it has to be tough for your position now, having people around you like, dude, you gotta be making so much money. Can you give me a little loan here? Can you throw 5,000? I pay you next year or something. All that kind of stuff too, right? People.
The more money you make, the more taxes you pay.
I know, man. Trust me. I know, and I don't make that much, but I know how to pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah.
We have to, right?
Yeah.
The American dream.
That's right.
Yeah. So, what can tell us about yourself, Elijah? What you do? Wait, no, don't tell me. Elijah.
Yeah, with the E.
Elijah. Yeah, man. Sorry, man. I thought I got it the first time. It was so. Yeah, Elijah. No, it's Elijah. Elijah.
Yeah, it's Elijah.
Cool, man. So you finished already high school, right?
Yeah, I graduated last year.
What you doing now?
Right now, I'm just working and just focusing, trying to finish school.
You gotta go to college now?
Yeah, I'm in college right now.
Oh, you already are?
Yeah.
What you doing there?
My major is business management.
You major. I always forget how to ask in English. You major. I say to you, find you bachelor. I don't know what I was saying. Major, trying to say major. Yeah.
Right.
On what?
Business management. So,
oh, cool, man.
Yeah, I'm going to school for business because that's my main interest. I'm a businessman.
Cool.
First.
So before you become an actor, you can manage that money.
Yeah, I want
before he go crazy with that.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So what is the goal you say?
So really to be an entrepreneur, have my own business, start my own thing, and then probably within time maybe do acting and other things.
Are you already having ideas in your mind about what kind of business you looking in, some plans on ideas that you can share with us? I might steal it, so be careful what you say.
Not yet, but I definitely have some ideas.
Cool, man, cool. It's a good moment to start stuff, when you're young, you don't have kids, you don't have much, you have somehow, your family next to you.
Yeah,
it's good time to.
Now. There's a lot of people my age doing it too. So.
Yeah, man, it's good time to take risks, Not so much risks, but you know what I'm saying? You can think about a project, put it in order, and trying to get money from somebody to invest in that project and start it. You never know, right?
Yeah. You got to be an entrepreneur when you're young nowadays. When I was shopping yesterday, I was at one of my favorite stores, Patron and New, and there was a young kid outside, hustling, selling some sweatpants, hoodies, and he said it was his own clothing label that he designed, and I just admired his hustle, his work ethic. And I ended up buying a pair of sweatpants off the kid.
Cool, man.
Just off, gave him all the cash I had in my pocket. You know, just because I admired him, and he was young. I asked him how old he was. I thought he was my son's age. You know, he looked that young. He was 23. You know, he said, you know, he has his own clothing label. He's trying to get it off the ground. So I said, you know what, give me, you know, I'll buy those pants off you. You know, I'll throw them on, give you a shout out.
Nice, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
When you do the shout out, tag me and I shout it out on my page too. Maybe we're helping somehow, right? Who knows, right?
Yeah.
It's cool, man. I got this friend of mine. He's a painter in New York. Devon is his name. Awesome kid. Man, he did something amazing. He started doing subway drawing. I don't know if you guys have seen him in Instagram or TikTok or something. He do like subway drawings. So he sit in front of somebody and do a quick drawing and then hand it to them.
Oh,
you haven't seen it in Instagram?
Like a caricature? Like
no, it's a real drawing. It's a real drawing of the person, like more realistic looking than caricature.
I know what you mean, but yeah.
But in the train, he just sit in front of somebody and do the quick drawing.
Oh, wow.
And then he handled it to them, and people, thank you, that's amazing. It's super cool, right? But this guy, he went to California. I think it was in LA. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was LA, like Hollywood or something. And he saw this homeless person. I don't know if homeless person is the proper way to say, but this person was in the streets, and he also was doing drawings. So my friend gave him a shout out and created an Instagram page for him right there, right? And gave him a shout out through his page that he got like, I don't know, 2 million followers or something on his TikTok or Instagram or something. The whole point is that that guy in hours got like 200,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
In no time. So that was a great thing for him to do, man.
Yeah.
Now this guy, I start following him too. Everybody is now following him, and he's thanking my friend, right? This guy, like, thank you for doing that for me or whatever. He got in the news that day, or the next day he got in the news, had a quick interview. All of that happened from nowhere just for a shout out.
You want to know something? The shout out didn't really do it. His talent did it for him.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Obviously the shout out helped. But he obviously has to have a talent.
He has something to offer.
Yeah, he has something to offer, exactly.
Yes.
You know?
That was the point. That shout out did it, but not for free. The guy had something to offer. He was doing good drawings. And, you know, also the sympathy that creates on you, right? That knowing that somebody with talent is living out in the streets or whatever it is and not being seen. And now it's being seen. It probably going to open doors for him or something. I hope, man. But it was a really nice thing. It was super nice of him doing it. So you ready planning stuff and
yeah, I'm planning stuff. Like I'm into like really like clothes, business, stuff like that. So
cool, man. Yeah. There is a book that my friend recommended it to me. It's called Poor Dad, Rich Dad, or Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or something.
Oh yeah.
I didn't read it. I listened to it while I was tattooing. Audiobook. My friend Rember, a tattoo artist, super amazing tattoo artist from Texas. Shout out to Rembrandt. The other day I was talking to another friend and I forgot his name and I said Rembrandt. That's the name of a painter, a famous painter, instead of saying Rembrandt. But he recommended that book to me and I read it. You should read it or listen to it. It's very good, man. It helps you to understand a lot of stuff. Like for me that grew up in not much money, let's say. I don't want to say poor, but you know what I mean? We didn't have money. I didn't even have a father figure around me. And so you learn certain things, but know how really rich people think about money. What should you do with your money? What you should do with your money, or how to invest, or how to, if you save or not save, investing or not invest. All of that kind of mindsets that are different from the poor dad. Like you have to study, graduate, find a job, and whatever. And the other guys like look for opportunities, invest or whatever. So it's a very good book. You should read it. It might help you in your in your journey. Yeah. So what other movie you have now? You're doing right now the Gem something. What is that?
Righteous Gemstones is season 2. It's on HBO. It's a show created by Danny McBride. Very hilarious. I binge watched it. Super funny. Adam Devine's in it. A lot of great actors. John Goodman.
Wow.
It's super funny. It's like a Joel Osteen, you know, like he's a televangelist, you know, very religious, you know, and like he makes money, you know, selling religion to people, you know, and this is what, you know, the family does, the Gemstones. It's, you know, family is called the Gemstones, and it's hilarious. Like I
have to watch. So you guys are doing right now the second season.
Yeah,
Were you in the
season.
first season too?
No, I wasn't in the first.
So
season.
you started in the second season.
Yeah, pretty much in every episode the second season. It's gonna be
cool,
it's gonna be so funny. Like some of the funniest stuff I've ever
Is,
done.
is this one of the shows that they're leaving out every episode on HBO, or they're waiting for the whole season to be recorded and throw it out as a whole? Because it's the two ways, right?
Yeah, but I think they're gonna release it like every week. It's not gonna be like
episode by episode.
It's not gonna be like where you could binge it.
Uh-huh.
I think they're gonna do it like the old-fashioned way.
That's so good for them. But at this point, I don't like it anymore. I got so spoiled with like Netflix or whatever that they throw you the whole season. But I bet I gotta be so hard, man, to produce movies and shows now, because again, we got so spoiled. Like I don't want to watch. I'm sometimes looking for something to watch. It's like, wow, one season. I don't want to watch that just now. I went to they got like 4 seasons now. Because you're starting to something and you get so involved that you want to keep watching, right?
Yeah, you don't like to be left in suspense.
No, man. But I got a lot of friends that follow shows like, I don't remember. Like Dragons, what was that? Dragons was the big HBO show. Something we.
Oh, you talking about
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, my friend gonna be like this fucking ass. but yeah, Game of Thrones, for example, that was like week by week, man. And a bunch of my friends and family members they follow that show, and they were always so excited. Like, oh my god, it's Sunday. Let's go home. I'm not doing shit. I'm going to watch. Like,
yeah.
So it's very exciting for people. For me, it's like I don't want to wait. For me, it's hard to wait for the next season to come out. And then you have to wait almost a year when you watch. I don't follow many shows. Let me tell you what is my best ever favorite show that I love with all my soul, but ended already. It was The Big Bang Theory. You never watched that?
I never really watched that.
You should watch it, man. It's so fun. I mean, I don't know. You might not be into that, but it's super fun.
I know
it's super fun.
It's a comedy. Yeah.
It's a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
Can I say nerds? Man, I'm so afraid now of words. But yeah, it's a bunch of very smart people, and it's super fun, man. It's super fun. It's hard to explain. I watch it. I love it. It's like 9 or 8 seasons or something.
Oh wow!
By end now, I still have the hopes that one day that guy says, "Let's do 1 more season or 2 more seasons or whatever."
In today's day and age, if you have a show that's on for even more than 2 seasons, 3 seasons, like that means it's really good.
Yeah, man. It's hard. Well, how you, if you have to take a bet, how you see that show that you guys are doing about the gemstones?
I see.
You feel like it's a kind of have the potential to keep going for long?
I see it could keep going. Yeah, because it's so funny.
If people is loving it,
Yeah.
people is well received.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Can't wait. And what is next for you, man?
Right now, I have an audition that I'm working on. It's a big movie.
How you do if like, because you're filming this one right now and it's in South Carolina and you have to go there and come back every weekend for your family. That's what you're doing, right? Because now with COVID you have to stay there for a little while, no?
Yeah. So the production schedule is usually I don't film all the time. Obviously, I'm not in every scene in every episode.
Mm-hmm.
But the scenes that I'm in, usually like it's me and a group of other guys, that pretty much have like the same kind of characters. So we're usually there for like about 2 weeks at a time. So we've already been there twice already, for two different stretches, and we're about to go back in about 2 weeks actually to do it again. Okay. And we're gonna keep doing that routine until the end of September actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happened if you cut for a different movie and then the schedule?
So the schedule
clash.
conflict.
Yes.
That's happened a couple of times where I've had to say no to an audition, or I booked something and I had to say no because there was a conflict of interest because I was already filming something. Yeah, that hurts a little bit. I mean, you can't get everything. So what's meant for you is meant for you.
Yes.
Like I've turned down an audition recently because it had a scheduling conflict with Righteous Gemstones, which is fine because I'm perfectly happy working on Gemstones. It's a great show. I'm happy to be there. And then
it gotta be hard because you're not really filming like every day. You film like as you said, a couple of weeks at a time, every other month or whatever. So the idea will be that you can book something else and then the schedules don't
exactly.
Don't clash, but it's hard, right?
Yeah.
Probably that Rock can do that, right?
Yeah.
Not film in that week. Just hold it for me 2 more weeks. I come back to do that one. But yeah, some people can do that.
Like I'm my happiest and most alive when I'm working out and I'm on set. You know, that's
I bet.
So COVID sucked. Because nobody was working.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, COVID sucked a lot for many, many reasons. And that was one of the main reasons, forcing everybody to stay home, right? Get away from whatever you do that keep you, to keep you like not crazy,
It's like everybody was in prison during that time, Nothing was open, couldn't go anywhere, you had to stay home.
Yeah, wow. You're still in Brooklyn, right? You went back to Brooklyn, or where are you now?
I live in the city now.
Oh, in the city.
Yeah.
Cool, man. How is the city right now? Because with the COVID, I heard it was a little down the hill. Then with the cancel the police or whatever.
The city seems like it's getting back to normal now. Like traffic is definitely back.
That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good symptom, I would say. Like if it's traffic, means that everything's getting activated, but nobody likes traffic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It was crazy. The other day I went to the city for a show late night. A stand-up comedian, Venezuelan stand-up comedian, was in the city. And it was crazy to drive into New York as Friday night, like no traffic. Like it was for me. That's it was for me. You know what I mean? It was no traffic. Then we park very easy. Then we walk around the city. And yeah, it was a few people, but it was not that crowded,
Right.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, I didn't even feel piece smell in most corners. You know that area, Times Square, always like smell like somebody pee right there in the street. Yeah. It was not even like that much. It was different, definitely. But it feel like nice to don't have so much people around. But sometimes a little nostalgic.
Yeah, because
it is what it is. Like Times Square is supposed to be Times Square, right?
I mean, there were times during COVID like you felt like you had the city to yourself. Because it's always so congested and so jam packed.
Mm-hmm.
So many people on top of each other. But during COVID, there wasn't a lot of people out. So if you were able to actually go outside, if you risk going outside,
mm-hmm.
you had the city to yourself to enjoy it. And it felt like it was just like your own little private playground. But now New York is coming back.
It's coming back. I have a friend that he owned, I think 2 or 3 restaurants there. And now they have just one. They have to close the other ones. And it was very rough. They tried to open one in Norwalk too, here in my town. And it didn't work because when they were about to open, COVID hit. So they couldn't open for many months. And rent was accumulating. Permits were delayed by the city because the city wasn't working anymore that well. So they opened, and it was in a mall. So in our mall here in town. So when the mall finally opened, they were like half capacity, all of that. So they were like, nah, just fuck it. Just close it. It was just, yeah. So, and that happened to many people, man. I got a couple of clients from the shop, that they invest a lot of money to open their own restaurants in this area. And they lost it. They lost all the money because they didn't even got to open, but they couldn't hold. Like, my restaurant was struggling, right? But we were already open for a year and a half when COVID hit. So I have to send home my waitresses, but the cook stayed. So we were selling kind of enough to pay the cooks, but to don't close the restaurant, right?
Were you guys still doing delivery?
We were doing deliveries and pick up, but my food is not that popular. It's Venezuelan food. I was telling you a little bit. A lot of people don't know what an arepa is. It's not like pizza, Everybody knows what pizzas are, And pizza is very affordable. You can feed your whole family with $16 pizza or $20 with a soda, $22 with 12 wings, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our restaurant food itself is a lot more money, to feed your family. So we were creating like family packages. Let's say like, I don't know, chicken rice, or whatever it is, a pasta for like 6 people for this much. Something like
servings,
help the family and help us to keep the cooks there working and the restaurant don't need to close. But it was rough, but we were already open. And my landlord was very nice, so I don't have to pay on time. If I go a little late, he give me a break. If I went late, whatever. He was very nice to us. Rent was not free, but at least I didn't have the pressure to have to pull the money on time all the time, right? Because then it's the rent, the mortgage, the rent of the tattoo shop, so the studio now, all of that, right? So we survive. We have a lot of clients that help us. Also, we were doing like donate food to the firefighters or police department or hospital, right? The first attendant.
Yeah.
So we cut the prices of things. If a meal costs $12, we put it like $7. So you buy it and you donate it. So you don't have to spend so much money. We put part of the money somehow, let's say. So that helped us too.
Nice.
But it was not like we were throwing money to the air, make it rain, nothing like that, right? It was just very limited everything. But this other friend of mine, they put all the money they have to open the businesses, like new restaurants. Also got a friend that she tried to open a clothing store. Exactly the same thing. Right there when she was about to open, COVID hit. So doors closed, not producing money, invest all the money that she had. My friend that they have here, they lost it all. They have to just return the keys and say, sorry, we're not doing nothing with that. So it was very rough.
Yeah,
man.
COVID sucked, but the thing about it is like it teaches. I think it taught a lot of people how to survive and how to make the most out of tough times. Like because now that was us at our worst. If we could survive that, then we could survive anything.
Pretty much, yeah. It was a lot of. It's always hard to say. Oh, COVID was good for me because it's very kind of an asshole to say something like that when people lost their family members and businesses and money and homes and all of that, right? But at the same time, we have to try to look for the bright side on everything because if we just focus on the darkness, then we're gonna be pulling side of the bad state of mind, right?
Exactly.
But something that it helped me a lot, for example, was I used to work, even though I work a lot and still now I do this too, right? The podcasting and stuff. At the same time, I find a way to spend more time with my family. Try to keep that sacred, because during all those days we were at home together, either watching movies or fighting or whatever we were doing, but we were together.
Right.
And I started appreciating more. Because even though before we always have like, okay, every Sunday we have to do something together. Even if we go to the park or drive around, whatever it is, we have to do it together because we like to do that. We get in the car and start driving into all these upstate mountains or whatever. Just driving, just spending the time together, talking and listening to music and making fun of each other or whatever, right? So even though we always have something to do together, we have dinners outside together, we vacations together, all of that. I feel like always being like rushed. Like, okay, Sunday is the day that we're gonna do that, right? So, okay, we have to wake up at a certain time. We have to do it. We have to get in the car. We have to, because we cannot lose the day. We have to come. But when COVID came, now we have time that is not being rushed, right? So it's not like, okay, tomorrow I have to work, so today I have to do this. I have to respond this email right now. I have to respond this other stuff.
Yeah,
I have
like
to
now you have more time for things you normally didn't have time for.
Yes. And now you start appreciating more. Like you appreciate more how it's to be sitting with your son in the couch watching a movie without thinking about you have to do this other thing. Right. Just being there, being so present. So that was good for me. That's one of the good things out of this situation, Again, I'm not trying to say that COVID was good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just trying to say like
you have to try to find the blessings within it.
Something that I'm trying to find about the teachings of, about these crazy times. Yeah, man. Bill Burr, man. You hang out with Bill Burr? Bill Burr is a fun dude, man.
I wasn't really too familiar with his work until I started working with him. The thing is, like, I don't really watch a lot of TV or movies. I did when I was younger, but now as an adult, like, you don't have time because you're always so busy. So unless I'm working on something, I really don't watch it. So then when I started working with Bill, I did my research and I actually watched all his stand-up, all his shows, even F is for Family
on
Netflix, like, great show. Like, he's so damn funny,
Yeah,
like,
man.
And like his stand-up comedy is like, it's about like the everyday working man, about observing things around him.
Yeah.
You know, and he loves sports too. You know, like he's such a hilarious guy. Like to watch him work, you know, do improv back and forth with like Pete, you know, and Steve Buscemi and all these other great actors, you know, and Judd Apatow being the great director that he is, you know, letting them do their thing, giving them free reign and do their improv. And
like in the movie?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Yeah, so we have a scripted version, you know, of the script, you know, that we shoot. But then, you know, the second take or the third take, then we do improv.
Oh, wow.
You know, then, you know, like, it's just like, imagine Bill Burr, you know,
with Pete.
letting the dog off the leash and letting him do what he wants, you know, like, it's hilarious, you know.
I bet more than one people was scared, like, yeah, that cannot be in the movie. Don't put that in the movie. Because he goes sometimes crazy, man. That's what I love him, you know, because sometimes he said the kind of things that people cannot say anymore.
Yeah.
And he just said aloud, stop fucking being so complaining whiners or whatever. I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
He's stand-up comedian. I tried to follow one of his podcasts that he got by himself, but it's a little hard for me because he talks too much about sports and I don't know anything about it. So
I love sports. So I like his podcast.
Yeah. So if you know about sport, I'm sure because also he knows a lot about it,
knows
and
a lot,
sometimes he throws the fun things into it. So it's super fun if you know what he's talking about. I bet. I just don't know. But when he's with the other guy, I forgot the name. Fuck me. Anyway, in the other podcast that he has with somebody else, that is a famous comedian that I love, and I cannot fucking remember his name right now. He's more like crazy, more like him. They're talking crazy, both of them. So it's super fun to listen to that one, man. Cool. So, are we tattooing you today?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, gonna get a tattoo done. We're gonna draw something up. A skull. You know, I like skulls. You know, like even like I don't know if you ever had the pleasure of going to Amsterdam and going to the Van Gogh Museum, but you don't even have to go to the Van Gogh Museum. You could just look at Van Gogh's work, probably online or whatever. But he even has like a skull painting, like a skull smoking a cigarette.
Oh, I know that painting.
Yeah.
I haven't been in Amsterdam,
Yeah.
but I know that painting for sure.
Yeah, like, you know, I just like skulls for some reason. You know, like I don't know, weird.
Where we putting it?
Probably my forearm.
Forearm.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see if I can try to put a photo of that tattoo in the podcast at the end or at the beginning or somewhere. You know.
All right.
No, at the beginning I gotta reserve it for you. I gotta put probably a couple of photos of you as scenes. Man, you did a very fucking rough scene because I went and checked. You know, probably in your Instagram I saw a lot of those. People should check your Instagram. Hank Strong, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
The Hank Strong.
Oh, that Hank Strong. People should check it out because it's a lot of good stuff. You exercising, you know.
Yeah,
probably people gonna see that. Gonna feel pumped to go and do it too.
Yeah, it's just a lot of me working out, a lot of me wearing like funky clothes,
a lot of sneakers and clothing. Yeah, a lot of cool clothing too.
Family, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah,
your baby daughter and your boy. I saw them there.
Yeah,
and I saw scenes from movies. That's how I knew that you were in the blacklist and all of those stuff. Bro, but you did a scene in The Godfather of Harlem.
Oh yeah,
that is in there.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's not comedy, right? That show is not comedy.
No, it's based on real life, actually. True story. Bumpy Johnson in the 1960s. He was a drug dealer in Harlem. He was like, you know, the most respected gangster in Harlem. You know, more respected than the mafia. You know, the Genovese family. And he was a good guy. He gave back to Harlem. He loved Harlem until his death. He died of a heart attack, I believe, in 1968. Wow. The character I played was Big Dick Buster. And it was actually based on a real person who actually had an extremely large dick who tortured people who would like rape women or do bad deeds. Because, you know, he had a big dick, so he would torture them and rape them or whatever, you know, just like as punishment. It's a weird form of punishment, but I mean, that's what he did. So, you know, in the show, Bumpy has him on the payroll, you know, and he uses him, you know, to inflict torture on certain individuals. You know.
I was watching that scene because I love that guy. Again, what is the name of
Forrest Whitaker?
The actor, how you pronounce his name?
Forrest Whitaker.
Whitaker?
Yeah.
amazing actor, man. I can't imagine how have to be to work next to him. He got all the movies. Every movie that he does, man, is amazing.
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal show. Shout out to Chris Brancato, like the same creator as Narcos. Yeah, like he's amazing. Paul Eckstein, like all the actors on there. Marquand Smith, you know, everybody on there is amazing and phenomenal. Il Finesh, you know, she plays Bumpy's wife. Mm-hmm. Like everybody, and then it's a period piece too, so it's in the 60s. So like I'm into fashion, so like, you know, like the whole the cars, the clothes, everything, you know, like it's just like it's like its own character, you know, like everything, like, you know, like when people film here in New York is like a whole nother character, you know, like the buildings, you know, the taxis, you know, the hustle and bustle, you know, man, you know, the traffic, you know, so like it's like a whole nother character, the whole time frame, the whole, you know, everything. Like when I was filming, to get into that zone, I used to listen to a whole lot of 60s music, you know, cool, like 60s, like jazz, you know.
I love 60s music, man.
You know, R&B, all kinds of all that stuff, you know, to soul music, to, you know, to get that feel, you know.
Wow, man, crazy. So yeah, I watched that scene in You Come. I was like, fuck, I don't want to be there.
Yeah, it was scary.
It's super scary, man. So why you feel this? Probably these questions should have been in the beginning of the conversation, but whatever, right? What make you be an actor? Why you want to be an actor? Why you decided to go in that path? You told me a little bit, like you watch comics and movies and you feel attracted to that, but I also did watch it. I should also read some comics, not many, but draw a lot of stuff and watch movies, but I didn't go to be an actor. So
I just truly have a passion for acting. I you know, like it's just in my heart. I really love it. Like if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see like in my story, almost every day I'll post like something from a movie page, like a classic movie. You know, a lot of people probably don't even get it. Like they're probably like, "Oh, this guy's weird," like because they probably never even watched it. Because I have a lot of young people that follow me too, and just or people my age that just never even cared to watch some of these films. You know, like, you know, American Psycho, The Dark Knight, you know, Breakfast Club, like I said, Terminator. Like there's so many classics. The list goes on, but
were you young playing a home characters or in school playing roles in theater and stuff like that?
The thing is, I was never into theater when I was in high school or anything like that, you know. It's weird. And then
but were you already imagining yourself like, I want to be that guy, I want to be there, I want to do movie?
When I was in college, I thought about it a little bit. Like NYU has a great program, Tisch. I wasn't in it. I was in the College of Arts and Science, like I said earlier. But there was a girl that was in Tisch, and she asked me to do a project with her. She was doing like a movie or something.
How pretty was she?
She was very pretty. She's very pretty. Yeah, Latina, actually. I believe her name was Shakira, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, I had to play like her boyfriend in the scene. Like, I don't know. I think she was setting me up. Like, you know, we got to film a scene in bed and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know if she was really shooting something for a project or was just her own thing. But either way, you know, like it was interesting to be asked to be a part of a project. You know, you know that I didn't know what I was doing at all. But no, it just kind of like planted the seed a little bit. You know. Cool. You know, like I wish I took it like more serious when I was his age, because who knows where I'll be right now. You know, you really got to start young. You got to find out what you want to do when you're young. I mean, obviously you don't have all the answers figured out when you're young.
Yeah, no.
But you should really find the path that you want and get started on it.
But that's what I was asking you actually, because for me it's very intriguing how some people, they kind of get straight since they're little, right? Like, I want to be a lawyer, and they act like lawyers since very young. They go to high school and they're already being like the kind of president of class or whatever, because they always have that kind of mindset. I have a friend that he wanted to be into politics since young. And when we were in high school, he was the president of the class, and he was the president of the school, whatever thing, politics are. I never understood why you want to be there. Why you doing, Who cares about that? But I was into art. So I was doing caricature of the t-shirts and putting it in the cardboard in the hallways or whatever, right? But for me, it's intriguing because I'm a tattoo artist, and I love it. I super love it. I can do that every day and be excited every day to do it, right?
Right.
But I didn't know I want to be a tattoo artist. I have friends that since they're very young, they knew they want to be tattoo artists, and they went to tattoo shop, hang out there. They learn young. I went into my first tattoo shop when I went to apply for my first job as a tattoo artist, and I was 32 years old. So all the years before that, I tattoo now and then in my house, mostly because my brother told me, like, you should do it, because one of my friends came to my town with a homemade tattoo machine or something. He started tattooing some friends, and then I have another friend who do tattoos with other homemade tattoo machine. Again, very small town in Venezuela in the 90s, right? So my brother was like, you should do it. So he took me to buy my first tattoo machine. My other brother built my first power supply out of a computer part or something, because he knows all of that. And I didn't know anything. One of those friends that was tattooing before, he taught me how to build my first needles. Right. And that was it. And then I was tattooing people, using a lot of common sense, like use the glove, all of that. From magazines, I learned a little bit. From the doctor across my street in my house, she taught me some things I have to do to keep it safe for everybody. Right. She was the mother of one of my best friends growing up. But even though I was doing that, I was never really into tattooing. For me, it was more like I'm doing it because my brother wanted me to do it, and then it was kind of fun to do it for some friends, and that's it. I never put my heart into it. I was painting. I wanted to be a painter. And I decided to come to America to be a painter. And then I was working construction and struggling for many years trying to be a painter. And then somebody needed a tattoo artist, and some of my friends knew that I did tattoos in my house to some of my friends in my house. And we were mutual friends with the guy that needed a tattoo artist in the shop. She brought me in. He gave me the job. And I started tattooing. Like, I applied for the job. It got out of the shop with my friend in her car because she drove me there. And I told her, okay, I gotta do this for right now, because I was broke, and I was coming out of winter. That was like a February of 2009. So I was like, I gotta do this for right now, just until the next thing comes, because I was always looking for opportunities, right? I already did a few art shows. I did some magazine, newspaper stuff with the paintings, but I wasn't selling to keep me alive.
Right.
So I start tattooing, and then I was like, oh, wait, people is paying me to do my drawings? I can actually do drawings and get paid, right? So then I was like, okay, if I gotta do this, I have to be good. And then I tried to train myself. So I started buying the videos of the people that was already well known, right? Joshua Carlton, Nico Hurtado, and the books too, right? Nick Baster books. I was buying those books, those artists that were already amazing, and trying to learn from them. And that's how I became a tattoo artist. So it was not like my dream. It was a very, very happy accident that came to my life.
But you also put the time in. You put the time in, and, the practice. And
then I went nuts. Yeah. I stopped sleeping for months. Like, I barely sleep. I was single, so I have my computer next to my bed. So I was watching videos all night long. I tied up my tattoo machine to my pencils to draw, but with the way of the machine, to get used to the way of the machine. I start now thinking about tattoo. Okay, I gotta do drawings, but with 4 pencils, like very light, medium, a little darker, and super dark. Planning how I set up my inks.
It's interesting you just said that. I didn't realize, with the weight, you got to realize, the weight. Yeah. It's not the same when you draw with a pencil with a tattoo. Tattoo gun. And
not just the weight, but the grip. With a pencil is so small, and with a tattoo machine is wider. So that helps you with the weight a little bit. But you have to get used to that too, right? And build your muscle memory, because your hand hurts a lot of holding the pen, because also I was so new. and so nervous that super hold it super tight, and then my hands are like, oh my god, so sore, right?
Yeah.
Now I hold it with 2 fingers. It's super different, right? More used, more accustomed to that, right? But yeah, so I start also doing everything thinking about tattooing. So if I gotta draw as I set up my inks. I gotta set up my pencils. So to practice black and gray now, thinking about. So I went nuts. I started reading books, watching videos. YouTube was coming out. Not many videos, but you can watch some videos on YouTube. and like that, right? But so now I think if I can advise people someday, maybe my kids or whatever, I don't want them to go through life expecting for something awesome to one day come to their life, right?
Right.
I want them to have an idea of what they want and try to pursue it with passion, right? That's the ideal. That's the goal. But life change. One day you might be a bodyguard. One day you might be a bodybuilder, and then one day you're an actor, right? Even you wanted it, but it wasn't like your main craziness since young. It just kind of came late in your life somehow. So that's what I ask people, like, you know, like just to pick where you, planning since little, because there are people that are dressing up since they're very little and playing characters in the school, and they love it. They want to do all that. Plays in the school, high school, middle school, college, all of that. Yeah. And my reason to ask somehow is for me to understand better what would be the best way to approach it when I have to with my kids or friends. But at the same time is to like kind of live out there the fact that you not necessarily have to know what you want to be. Because some people is like, man, I'm for sure I want to be a firefighter, but at the same time I don't like it, but my father is, so I have to do it. It's not like that, you know. You have to kind of know first what you are passionate about it, try to pursue it. It might not happen right away, it might, but it's more like, listening to other people's experiences to see how things happen for everybody. Let's say that way.
Yeah, everybody's path is different, and you got to put the time in. You got to be willing to, not win at first in the beginning. Maybe you might win right away. You never know. Like I said, I got the first commercial I tried for, but you may not win right away, and you have to be willing to deal with that. You got to put the time in. You got to be willing to sacrifice, sleepless nights. You got to be willing to go broke, have no money, but you still need money in order to pursue whatever dream it is you're trying to pursue. That might require some funding, Mm-hmm. You got to do what you got to do. If that requires, still doing security, or bodyguard work, then so be it,
Yeah. Yeah, the money situation is something, it's crazy. When I try to think about when I was struggling, I don't want to go back to that stage, never again. But at the same time, I was so free. Sometimes I have money to eat, sometimes I don't have it, or I was laying my rent. I didn't have a car. My car was like $500 car. It was always broken. But I was so free to plan because I didn't owe nothing to nobody and nobody was keeping an eye on me. So I didn't feel pressure. I'm not saying people keep an eye on me right now, but when you get to a certain point, it's like if right now I start doing bad tattoos, probably people are going to be like, what is going on with Javier? Something might be wrong. I got so busy with this and with my tattooing and stuff that was a little overwhelming, so I decided to stop taking appointments for a little while. It doesn't mean that I stopped tattooing. I'm already booked up in September. I just try to don't book more appointments further because it's hard for me to keep out, right? More when I have to do traveling for whatever reason it is. So I was super free. I feel free in those times because I didn't have pressure. I didn't have to pay big bills or I have to have a business that I have to keep busy for my other co-workers to have appointments. So it was super free, right? But then I realized that that's not the ideal state. Being super free, doing nothing is not the ideal state, at least not for me. I like better being busy, right? And the busier you are, it's fun when you're doing something that you're passionate about it, right? That you love. But you don't want to go extreme busy that it become exhausting, and then you kind of like
stressed.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do this. I hate it now tattooing. You don't want that to happen, right? Or for you being an actor, you want to be acting the most possible because you love being in that position, but you don't want to be in a position that so much work that you have to be away from your family and then exhausted.
Yeah, you're burned out.
Bored down is the thing. You don't want to get to that point. Even you love it, you don't want to be in that position, right? But circle back to what I was thinking about the money is that it's very helpful when you're trying to do. When I opened the restaurants, I invested a lot of money, right? Pretty much the money that I had, and then I was struggling to keep the bills on time and stuff like that, while the restaurant was kind of growing or getting more stable. And those nights were rough, right? I was not sleeping, thinking about money. I don't like being in that position, and a lot of people is in that position. But when everything got stable, I sold one of the restaurants, then I put the other one in a more stable state, and now I was able to save some money. So it's much when you finally sitting in a place that you know that your business is working. It's not like you becoming rich out of the business, but they're stable, right? They don't need you there all the time, and the tattoo shop is busy and everybody's tattooing, and my clients are coming, and I'm doing my own tattoos, and everything is working nice. And then in some point you save some money. That position of knowing that the money is there, even when it's not a lot of money, but at least some money is there, it gives you some kind of, like you feel inspired to do more stuff.
Right.
That's what I'm doing now, the podcast. Because now I know in a survival mode. I know in a struggling state where I have to keep just thinking how to get out of this hole every day, but rather in a little more comfortable moment where I feel like, okay, what I do next? What can I do next? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So all of this, what I'm thinking is because we heard a little bit about the political idea of giving some money to all the families. And some people say like, that's not good. Some people say it's good. So I don't know what is good or bad, but I just feel like a lot of people might have good ideas or good potential or good stuff that they can give back to communities or their own families or create or whatever. But they're right now in that bad point that it's hard for them to make a plan and say like, I'm going to do this or that, when they have to actually suffer every day just to put money on the table, food in the table, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to pursue your dreams. You know?
Yeah. So that was all of these that I said. I got my brain firing out of that was trying to think could be cool, finding the way to support people to put in a position where they're not starting from so behind.
Yeah.
When they gotta start from a more comfortable state more
more
right?
stable point. Yep. Yeah.
That should be a good goal for everybody in the country, let's say.
Right.
Or in the world, right? But it's hard. It's kind of impossible, but yeah. Sorry again. I went nuts in all this conversation. Just thinking about that, right? Because I feel it's unfair. What I'm trying to say, I feel it's unfair. When I was broke as fuck, I wasn't unhappy. I was happy. I have friends. I was playing a lot more volleyball, I was spending a lot more time doing things that recreational things, let's say, that make you feel.
Yeah, sometimes when you don't have a lot of money, you're your happiest. You know, to be honest, sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you find the joy in other things. You know?
Yeah. So it's how we can help, right, for everybody to have that kind of starting point that is not such a back. You back there trying to get to just here where you should be starting. That was what I was thinking. Sorry again. I went crazy into all of that conversation for no reason. It just, you know, it made all the time. It kind of make me think about it over and over and over. I'm thinking like, I see people, man, that like that guy was telling you about the homeless. My friend did a shout out for him. Yeah. Like he's struggling, but how he gonna get his work to people to buy it or galleries or whatever when he's starting so back, right?
Right.
So my friend just did something little, apparently little, as a shout out creating an Instagram account, and now he put him in this starting point, and now the guys
now he's in a good position, yeah.
Right, and he already has something to offer, but was so pushed in the back that we cannot really see it. You know what I mean?
Right. You didn't have a platform.
I didn't have like that, at least the eyes on him. Okay. So sorry again. I don't know. I went super out of control with that rant. So what are you doing next, man?
Just
you told me you got the other casting team doing.
Yeah, I'm working on this audition right now for a movie based on a true story. The Greatest Beer Run Ever. It's about a guy who brought beer to his friends in Vietnam.
He brought what?
He brought a beer to his friends over in Vietnam. So, obviously that was like very dangerous, very crazy thing to do, just to bring beer. But it started off as like a crazy little bet, and he ended up following through with it. And then along the way, I guess he realized, it was, the crazy, insane, things that were going on in Vietnam, along the way, so there's a lot of big names attached to it. Hopefully I get it, we'll see.
Hopefully that's good. Looking good, man.
Yeah.
If you get it, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
I'll just say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully you get it, and it won't clash with the schedule of the other show that you have to let it go. Because that would be, more disappointing, right?
Yeah.
So, how I can see you guys are very close. I'm a father. How I get that? My son and I, we super close, but he's 5. So I don't know what is gonna happen when he grows.
Well, I had him when I was young. I was 20, 21 at the time. So it's now we're at an age. I'm 40. He's 18. So we're kind of into the similar things. Like sneakers, clothes, music. So we kind of have that luxury.
Cool. How you what? It might be hard. I don't know if it's hard for you to respond in front of your father, but let's try it, right? What you feel is the reason that you can be close to him, that you feel like I want to hang out with my father. Because not many kids, right? Not many kids want to hang out at 18. They want to be just by themselves all the time.
He still doesn't really want to hang out with me all the time.
But you guys seem to be close, right? You seem,
so
at least the perception is there.
Yeah, I still do my own thing, but like time to time, like I try to spend a lot of time with my dad. Like it's not a problem for me because like he's always teaching me stuff. Like I'm learning stuff, like just being around him. Like you see like the acting or just life lessons. Like he's just always telling me stuff. So it's like that's where I really like want to be around like my dad and like see what he's doing and just learn from that.
Cool, man. So you mentioned that you might be looking to get into the acting too and stuff, but are you also looking to get into the body physique, building your body and stuff? You like that? You feel attracted to that?
Nah.
Because right now I can see you now.
No, I work out, but just for myself. Like I wouldn't do like bodybuilding or nothing.
But
just to stay fit,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not meaning like to go and compete, but to grow. You want to grow. You want to that's your goal to start growing to some point. This is the age, right? When you're young, it's good, right? It's a little easier, I heard.
Yeah, I'm in the gym now, so like I'm already working on that. Trying to just
it's not showing, but I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. No, cool, man. Keep it up. Yeah, I mean, you got cool role model, right? Like, so he you that kind of proved that hard work pay off, right? You didn't go for acting classes, but you went for the bodybuilding, and not always gotta work for everybody, but at least it's a good way to step into the industry, I guess, right? When people see that you have the responsibility with yourself and the commitment with yourself, and then it shows in your body that you grow and big and whatever, it kind of fits some kind of characters.
Yeah,
it might be great actors that don't have the physique, so they cannot really get those kind of.
Well, you just got to put the discipline. I apply the discipline for bodybuilding into acting and any other part of my aspect of my life. But with acting, you don't have to be in shape to be an actor.
No.
Actors come in all shapes, sizes, ages. That's another beautiful thing about acting. You can act until you're 80, 90.
Yes.
Like look at Clint Eastwood, look at Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. Like all these guys are still going strong.
Yes, yeah. No, yeah, I know. No, definitely. What I was trying to say is that having the body is similar to about being pretty. It doesn't mean that you got all the work in your hands, but definitely you got things a lot easier than other people.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that every actor have to be good looking.
Yeah.
Proof is that a lot of them are not.
Yeah.
Some of them are. But when you already have some kind of qualities on you, let's say, for example, if I had a long tail and people need characters that have long tail, I would get it easier than somebody that don't have it.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly. It helps get your foot in the door.
It helps to get your foot in the door. So what I'm trying to say is that you kind of can look at that, right? It doesn't mean that you have just to try to get in that way. If you like acting for real, you might take classes, some coaching or whatever. But building the body also gonna help you. So
I mean, when he's ready to take it seriously, I'll give him the right advice. I mean, he doesn't have to take it to the extreme that I took it with bodybuilding. Just to put on some size and be in shape, because it's going to be tough. Because I was his size when I was younger, like I said, and his mom is his size. She's slim too as well. So like he's already fighting genetics on both sides. So he's gonna have to work.
You can pull if you want.
So he's gonna have to work. He's gonna have to work very hard in order.
The whole thing, like
he's gonna have to work very hard in order to to get to where he wants to be. If that's what he so chooses.
But you kind of young, kinda, because going 18 is like that moment when you're not that young anymore.
Yeah,
like being 14, you have so much time. Whatever, you don't think about anything. Now being 18. And probably your friends are start doing things too, like with their business ideas or whatever. Now your friends or people that you follow on social media or whatever. So now you start getting more in like, okay, I cannot keep just fooling around. Now I have to get serious on something.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it have to be the final thing that you're going to do for the rest of your life. But yeah, it's more pressure when you're already 18, 19. You have to start focusing your ideas, right?
Right.
Cool, man. Bro, what else should I be asking you that I'm not asking you? Or what else you can tell me? Or you guys, either of you, before we go to tattoo you.
I encourage anybody that has a dream or a passion to chase it and believe in yourself. And even if other people say you can't do it, believe in yourself. Because nobody can determine your future but you. If you want something bad enough, you can make it happen for yourself.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Nobody's going to stop you.
Definitely, man. Hank, pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for deciding to do the podcast with me, man.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. Elijah.
Appreciate it.
I didn't fuck it up, you see, Elijah. Thank you again. Thank you also for coming with your dad, man. It's nice to see you guys together because I'm a father now and I'm looking forward, to hang out with my son. I'm sure at some point he won't be willing to be around me anymore or give me besos, little kisses and stuff. But
give him his first tattoo.
Yeah, man. Probably I will at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna be tattooing then. What is that? Probably 13 more years. I'm gonna be like 60, maybe something around there. Yeah, probably will be tattooing. Not that often. I hope by then I tattoo a couple of times a week. No, 6 days a week. Guys, thank you so much, man. It was awesome to listen about your journey, man, and the things that you do. I got so many questions. I just want to keep you here all day because we have to tattoo and
all right.
and I don't know. Just thank you, man.
I appreciate
you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's go. Let's
all
get
right,
busy.
Let's rock.